Okay, getting the first pick. Oh, get 3, Pyro, get 3 with the
Void Kick putting on a clinic. Whole team's down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
Good evening, Overwatch fans. Welcome to the first match of the Overwatch Tranquility Season 6 playoffs. Everything is on the line for these two teams, and they're fighting for a chance at glory, at immortality as the Season 6 Harmony Tier champions. For one team, this will be their last game this season, and one team will keep their dreams alive. We're going to be saying goodbye to a team tonight. Will Ultraviolet shine bright, or will Miami Yikes get burnt? I'm K-Wing, coming at you with the play-by-play tonight. Joining me is Gizmo Charmander on the analyst desk with Laggy Sun on production. Gizmo, you've got some former teammates on this team. What do you expect to see out of them?
Well, they're actually playing a very off role. Both Daddy Cakes and Old Kong, who was told was going to be a little late tonight, were actually tank players back on my old team. So seeing them play these DPS spots is going to be an interesting matchup because, tanks are usually the ones feeding the most. And as someone on that team who always got yelled at for feeding the most, being the DPS player, it's going to be kind of nice to watch them and see how they play it. But, Ultraviolet's a team that has been around Tranquility now for 2 seasons. Miami Yikes also came in last season as well. So seeing these teams have their change-ups, the developments they've gone through, and the fact that Ultraviolet is here right now is just it's a miracle in the fact that they got this wild card spot looking at their record right now. And they're going to be putting everything on the line. I know they picked up a couple new players towards the end, which including one of my former teammates. So I think with those add-ons, they're going to give Miami Yikes a run for their money tonight. But Miami Yikes, just like Miami Vice, never gets old, never dies. So it's going to be a fun match to watch for sure. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it's the first of 4. So, if we get a couple ties, we could go 9 maps. Bard, don't you say it in chat, I swear. Okay. But anyways, other than that, I think we're going to see some pretty good, pretty good matches tonight.
Absolutely. And of course, I mean, when we're talking about matches, we got to talk about the maps. Our first map here is going to be Lijiang Tower. Now, I'm pretty excited for Lijiang Tower because I love Control just in general, because I think that it's always a pretty good diagnostic tool for just the match in general. Because there's a lot of Control maps where you can see a bunch of different compositions. If you're talking Lijiang, you can see the dive, you can see the rush on different points in different rounds. You can see so many different compositions, and you'll get to see what compositions these teams like to run and what compositions they're going to be struggling with or struggling against. So it's going to be interesting to see which round we start off on, as I think that can set the mood, but I'm very excited to get into our first playoff match of the season.
Yeah, and Lijiang Tower, as we know, depending on what map, will definitely define the tank lines. If you're starting in on Control Center, you got to run Brawl. Now the question is, are they going to run the D.Va instead of the Zarya, or are they going to run that Zarya instead of the D.Va? And hey, honestly, it's not a bad place. Yes, Reinhardt should be the shield tank you should play, but Sigma can get a little value. So it's going to depend on their comfortability, and this is Harmony tier, and comfortability is definitely more valuable than what is meta according to the map.
Absolutely, especially when we're talking Harmony tier, which is the lowest of the tiers. You're talking around this sort of plat level. you really want to see, you're going to see more comfort picks rather than what is the quote unquote meta, as you want to see players perform better rather than just kind of force a meta pick, um, and just do that just because it's the meta. It won't really help the players as much as you get into the assembled heroes phase.
Yeah. And we just watched Torb and his little babies disappear as the round is about to start. Now, like I said before, we're definitely going to probably see that brawl come out. Another thing we might see from the DPS is seeing Symmetra, maybe even Junkrat. That's been a huge play, especially up in the Owl. And honestly, those two characters are, I think, a comfort pick for most DPS players, just because it's a lot of spam. You don't really have to focus on the aim. And with these tight corridors, Junkrat gets so much value. And in fact, look at that. We see both teams already running it. Now the question is, who's going to get more value, because we got double shield on one side, which means Junkrat's got to do a little more spam damage if you're ultraviolet, to whereas, Turtles, not so much, but you do have the Diva eating as well, which will be a little more effective in the long fights just because it has a quicker cooldown time and you don't have to wait 2 seconds to replace it like you do on Stigma Shields.
We'll see these two teams go at it as already Soap? Soap? No, 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 Soap. Please, this is a playoff game. You can't just fall off the map like that. Kiri is already going to go low as well. And that Lucio is their only source of healing. You need this if you are Ultraviolet, and Soap just falling off the map. That's a brutal way to start it. And it'll just be a back off already for Ultraviolet.
Yeah. Unfortunate start off, but the point just opens up now and is going to be contestable.
That it is, but the mine from Turtles blows multiple people sky high out of the reach of that immortality field. They won't be taken down just yet, but they're going to go dangerously low. Stocky on the Symmetry is just lasering everyone, cutting through them like a hot knife through butter, but Macaroon is going to get taken down first. And already, ult's getting dangerously close to being charged on both sides, but Ultraviolet finding their time off of an unfortunate mishap from Soap, and going to take this point and collapse onto Macaroon a little bit late as well.
I'm starting to wonder if maybe Soap dying early was just a, surprisingly big brain play. Soap was able to build the Ant Matrix wall as soon as they got back, and with that, Ultraviolet just took control of that point. I mean, if I was, ooh, Graph's coming out.
We countered by the bead, but already, the Riptire from Turtles is actually going to get taken down by Daddy Cakes. Here comes the Riptire of their own. Neither of these Riptires going to be finding anything. They'll just be lying in shambles on the floor watching this fight. Already, Turtles will be the first fatality. And the Shattered's gonna find 5. Oh my gosh, Macaroon, that was just sweet.
Yeah, great play. Now it looks like it's finally going to be taken as the final members of Ultraviolet are taken out. What a great start off from Ultraviolet, being able to recover so quickly from Soap's mishap. But that play right there, Macaron was able to get just a little bit more value, actually finding picks on the Shatter. Now the old economy, Soap has the wall again, the window again, but Doc with this, B-Tron coming in, could be what they need to turn it around.
Window's going to come in early from Soap, just potentially a way to get Miami Yikes out of that line of sight and take some early point presence. Already Doc and Shy both going to take some hits, and Shy will pop that amplification matrix, and it'll find Soap, and Daddy Cake's all gonna go down. And that's some crucial ult investment from Soap for a fight that they did end up losing, blaming it, of course.
Yeah, that's definitely a window that Soap's going to want to get back. Soap probably just popped it a little too early. They weren't able to get the value. They did push back Miami Yikes, which I think was the initial plan, so that way they didn't have to worry about Turtleless spam coming in. But afterwards, you just got no value in the continuation of the point. I think if he got it just up a little higher, a little further in the choke, they could have used it to their advantage to kind of fight around that point. Instead, just was able to use their window to keep secure of the point.
Absolutely, the teleport will come out from Enchanted, and where does that teleporter lead? Enchanted as she gets taken up into the air by the gravitic flux. The Riptire will find Turtles as well, but Macaroon with a double fire strike kill. He'll make it a third, and he'll just clean up the members of Ultraviolet.
Yeah, I think Stomp was actually lifted right before they were able to take the teleporter, but they were just above it that they thought, oh, hey, maybe this might be like a Zarya graph. Unfortunately not. Once you get lifted, unless you're Orisa, you're doomed.
Absolutely. Daddy Cakes going to find the wrong end of a Riptire from Turtles, as now overtime ticking in for Miami Yikes. And if your Ultraviolet is not how you want to start, Daddy Cake going to swap over to the Tracer just to try and get back the beat. Will find two, but Nuke won't survive for long. Even with it, Enchanted will follow, and now it's just Macaroon trying to staying alive on this point remarkably well. Beat will come in from Doc just to help clean up. Soap staying on top of that pillar, just trying to keep alive, just trying to keep this point away from getting captured, and it won't be long before the first round going to go to Miami Yikes.
Yeah, great rotations come from Miami Yikes on this first map. They were able to really control those tight corners. One thing that I would have liked to see coming out from Ultraviolet is while they were still running that Symmetra, they weren't really using the teleporter to kind of get past the spam damage. That's actually a beauty to running the Symmetra if you're in a hallway with a Junkrat. Junkrat can spam all he wants, but if you teleport behind him, it's a moot point. And if the teams are focused as they are going down that choke, you can at least get a few teammates maybe in the back line, maybe get Daddy Cakes with his Junkrat in the back line. But now that we're coming on Night Market, we're still going to see that Symmetra because it's just a fan favorite to get to that point quick. But instead of running the Sigma on Miami Yikes, they switch over to the Orisa, so it's more of a bunker comp. And considering that Turtles is still on that Junkrat and has been just decimating, that's actually a huge play, but I don't know how well it's going to go up against the Reaper.
Both teams teleport right to the point, and it's a brawl like there's never been a brawl before. Kerbical and Nuke both going to be the first to fall, but Macaroon shortly after. Ultraviolet, their members are going to try and get something going, but Bubble Wyatt will be the last to fall before the point unlocks for Miami Yikes.
Yeah, smart play coming out from Turtles. He actually jumped backwards instead of going straight into the point and got a nice little flank angle. And even with the double shields, it's not going to matter. Or excuse me, not with the double shield. Even with the Diva E, it's not going to matter. One thing I think that maybe Ultraviolet might need to change up is maybe switching off this Diva, maybe going to a Zarya and be more like just quick brawl. That will definitely just push away this poke damage coming into them.
That it will. Here comes Turtles with the Riptide trying to find anything with it. Just going around and around, and he'll actually find Nuke dropping in at the last second, and Turtles will just shut down that push, even getting a pick onto Soap. Enchanted trying to match, but Turtles is just too much to handle for Ultraviolet.
Another thing Ultraviolet could do here is Daddy Cakes isn't really getting much value on this Reaper. Enchanted did switch off the Symmetra to the Junkrat. It's already 60% of the tire. Maybe Daddy Cakes could switch over to a Afar. There's no hit scan, and there's no Diva. The only real worry is probably the Baptiste and the Orisa, and even then, that's probably not enough if you give them a Mercy Pocket.
Ultraviolet coming onto this point, using the Shatter! Shatter from Macaroon is going to find 5 on the ground again! He's just not missing these Earth Shatters. Macaroon has just been on point today, and I'm excited to see what he's got for us in these next few maps.
Yeah, and once again, Soap threw out the wall or the window, but it wasn't really much effect because Stonk had the Great Wall of Symmetra up. That's actually a huge counter to the Baptiste window right there.
Now Nuke has that Earth Shatter. Macaroon set a pretty harsh, set a high bar for him to clear. Let's see if he can do anything about it. Shield 6! He'll just do it! I was being sarcastic. I didn't think he would actually get every single member of Miami Yikes on the ground, but he did. And the point will go to Ultraviolet, but this round, this map, is not over yet in the slightest.
Yeah, now Miami Yikes has Turtles Tyre up. As long as they can get Soap to use Immortality early, he can get a lot of value on this ult. Plus, Doc has beat drop, so a Diva Bomb can be nullified without even worrying about the shield being in place.
Absolutely, Ultraviolet's got to pull something wacky out here, and they will destroy the teleporter. Here comes Soap's window, but it won't save him from Stonky. Here comes the Diva Bomb. Turtle's Riptide will fall. Stonky's actually going to get charged, and all the kills going in the way of Ultraviolet. Turtles will try and backcap, but Enchanted will put an end to that real quick.
Yeah, now Daddy Cakes has Death Blossom online, but what he's got to worry about is Stonk's wall coming out. That has actually been a huge problem coming out for Ultraviolet. The wall has just been so effective negating ults. Miami Yikes has just been able to push in so nicely, and Macaroon's got Shatter almost up. And honestly, I think he's only missed one Shatter, and the rest have been at least a 4 or 5 man.
Absolutely. And we'll have to see these two runs both have Shatter. Macaroon's going to use it. Gets 5 on the ground. He just does not miss. It's disgusting. Macaroon just going to cleave through the remainder of Ultraviolet. Will take the point, and I don't think anyone's even going to touch after that. That'll be map 1 going to Miami Yikes.
Now, that was an absolute tremendous play from Macaroon right there, playing around the Symmetra wall, because you know that Reinhardt has Shatter. Clearly, we saw Nuke watching for it. So you got to do one of two things. You either got to deal with it, but then you give up the spam damage coming from the side of the Junkrat, or you let it go, and that's what he did. And unfortunately, 5 of his teammates did get catching it. They had the Immortality filled out, but the damage was already done. That wall was just up, preventing the damage to be backfired as soon as they came up. The Immortality field came out, got taken out so quickly. It was just a big brain play coming out for Miami Yikes. Now, like I said before, we're talking about comfortable picks here. We definitely seen that the Diva pick has been a comfortable pick for off tank, but Miami Yikes has now run 3 separate tanks off the Reinhardt. They've run the double shield with both the Sigma and the Orisa, which, you know, Orisa Reinhardt's not usually a double shield you see typically, just because the mobility is very bunker and Reinhardt's usually not the kind of shield you want to take. But you know what? With the plays that Macaron's been playing, the positioning he's had, I wouldn't switch him up. Now, as far as his off tanks goes, I think it's going to depend on what maps are coming up. Orisa's not that great on certain other maps that will have, such as, you know, Escort and that, until you've already gotten it, or if you're trying to stay bunkered on the defense. So seeing them run that Diva, which we didn't get to see too much, but it really didn't matter because, once again, Macaron just absolutely shattering the competition right there. It's going to be interesting to how Ultraviolet is going to, you know, come back to this.
Absolutely. That's the measure of a great team, is coming back from a pretty difficult map loss like that and not getting tilted, not getting sort of run over for your next few maps. And now Ultraviolet going to pick the map, and it's going to be Hanamura.
Aha, yes. Everyone's favorite, the assault maps. Hanamura, definitely a huge favorite, and I'm not shocked that Ultraviolet picked as much as they were running a Symmetra, because Symmetra on that first attack point is usually a huge play. You know, you have several places you can teleport. You can teleport to the side room, try to get that top high ground on the right, or you can just straight up teleport to the high ground. Most teams like to rotate on that right side because you have not only the point to jump onto, but you have that back room to escape. So that way you can kind of protect your support in case they're running a Junkrat spam or even a Hanzo. So there's a lot of ways you can use Symmetra on Hanamura, but at the same time, a lot of teams, especially in Tranquility, know that's coming. And if I'm Miami Yikes, and I've already seen that they ran that Symmetra strat on both Control Center and Night Market, I bet your bottom dollar they're going to be running it here on attack. So I'm already probably ready with either Torbjorn to have that turret ready to start shooting, maybe even a May or a Symmetra of our own to counter it, and that Junkrat that's just been amazing from Turtles. That's what I would run DPS. Now, as far as their tanks go, it's going to be Reinhardt for sure. It's probably going to be Orisa, just because that bunker style comp was definitely working for them, especially on Night Market. Sigma definitely had a better control on Control Center, but Orisa was definitely a better call when it was a more closed-in map. And because, you know, you think of that small room where the first point is, you're going to run it the same way.
Definitely, I think that It is the danger of that symmetric teleporter is that all of your team is grouped up in one place. So if you have any sort of area of effect characters, anyone with any sort of ability like that, whether it be an Onanate, a Junkrat Mine, a Pharah primary fire, that will charge ult so fast for them. I'm interested to see if they run it, and we'll see if they do. It doesn't look like they will. We're gonna see pretty similar compositions, with the only difference being in the off tank, the Zarya versus the Diva.
Yeah, that is actually just that's an interesting fight up because the Zarya, there's no junk spam, so you don't have to worry about the charge coming in from there. But as far as fights go, Zarya is going to get a little more better value in close combat fights because you can bubble your teammates, which will stop the freeze from the Mei. And Defense Matrix cannot protect from a beam. But on the other hand, Bubble Watt will have that Defense Matrix, which will be able to absorb all the other damage and is a lot more effective in long fights. So going through this push, and since there's no spam damage, the Diva doesn't really get a huge advantage early on, but it's going to be enough for them to push through as long as the Mei wall doesn't catch anybody.
That is important. Mei is such a terrifying force, especially in lower elos. When you might not be as together with your team as you might want, a Mei wall can come in, catch out your main tank, your off tank, cut them off from their healers, and you can just get demolished. And Nuke is gonna find out just how hard it can be, but eventually the tables will get turned, and Macaroon is on the receiving end of a wall, going to get taken down by Nuke. And now Miami Yikes, they're having some trouble here. Nuke goes low, will get that healing he so desperately needs and desires. And Miami Yikes still getting hit on this point. But that will be a nice way to end it with a few picks. And they will cap point. It's eventually Stonky will get taken down. Doc as well. Going to try and stall on Elusive. Will take down Daddy Cakes, but it won't be long until he'll have to drop off. And point B, that attack, 5 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, Soap is actually the hero of that first point right there. Getting the Immortality Field over the Mei wall, just had the right position to do it so, and was able to keep Nuke alive. Once Nuke stayed alive and they were able to stable, Soap now has that window for this next fight, and that's huge, especially coming up this little small choke that they can just throw it in.
Absolutely, and that's just exactly what they do. The Shatter from Nuke will find one, and the Nuke is just going to get taken down immediately. That wall is not letting an Immortality Field through. Daddy Cakes will find the bad end of a Fire Strike. Fire and Ice, you know what they say. They don't mix, and didn't work out for Daddy Cakes.
Yeah, great play from Turtles right there, and that was one thing I was going to say right before the fight. Yes, you can use the window right there, but you gotta think there's that Mei wall. Mei wall is such not only a oppressive ability as far as terms as separating teammates, but it negates so many ults, and window's one of them. If you catch the window inside the wall, you have to break the wall down very quick, and by then the window's almost over. So it's just a huge big break play from Turtles.
Already, you have an interesting attack here as Ultraviolet. They're going to push to point. They will actually they'll get a tick from that just from pushing down below, but here comes the Blizzard from Turtles. It'll get 3 people frozen, and Stonky and Turtles will find Nuke and Daddy Cakes from that Blizzard, and it'll be a quick 1-2 punch from the members of Miami Yikes.
Yeah. That was definitely a rotation that I don't think Miami Yikes was ready for at first. Turtles did try to wall somebody at it, but they probably could have waited a little second and probably went and gave up the tick. But one thing I think could have been different was Enchanted, instead of trying to go up the stairs to get that high ground, could have just stayed low underneath the high ground, preventing the opposite McCree from being able to bug him and get more value out. And now that he's got Deadeye, they could have had like a clean Deadeye from down there, just had to wait for the defense matrix.
That they could. Here we go again. Daddy Cakes throwing out the Blizzard, trying to get something similar to Turtles. Eventually, Turtles is actually going to get caught out. The speed boost onto Nuke going to be a nice pin, but Nuke is going to get caught out by the Deadeye from Stonky, taking out both of the tanks while demeching Bubba Wyatt. And Ultraviolet just going to bang their heads against the wall for another time and does not break.
Yeah, that's one of the beauties about running this Zarya right now. Queen has not gone down quick enough. They really need to focus taking out the Zarya. They've had Grav, was able to stop them from getting more than just a tick on that previous push right beforehand. The Diva Bubba Watt just doesn't seem to be getting the value, and they keep trying to do this right side high ground. Diva can take the high ground if they can just force everyone off. Then Bubba can take that high ground from the McCree and take out what stopped their main tank.
Absolutely, Nuke will throw out the Shatter, but nothing there as the Blizzard from Turtles is going to freeze. Is going to stop everything in its tracks, including any attack from Ultraviolet, and they just cannot seem to get a foothold on point B. They got one tick, but they just cannot win a fight.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. When you're Ultraviolet and you're going up to this high ground, you know that maze there. You got to get all together and get through that choke as quick as possible, so the wall doesn't separate you and you don't lose your main tank like that. And not to mention, Nuke got a Shatter blocked pretty easily. So that's another thing too. If you go, this is the time where you stop trying to go top right. You just go straight down main. You force them to the point. That's worked out a lot better. Instead of doing that, right around rotation, you prevent the Mei from getting value on the wall because it's getting where they're set up.
It will take a somewhat similar approach to what you suggested. They're going to pop the window, but it'll just be the members of Miami Yikes ducking into that small room there. They will try to do the same thing they did and get another tick. They're going to throw it on the Blizzard, forcing... Yikes going to throw it on the Blizzard. That's really smart, though. And that was an eat on the grab. Queen Rabbit not good to use the grab, as Bubba Wyatt says, thank you for dinner. And Ultraviolet, after they clean up these staggers, will take this second point with a minute left. With less than a minute left, crucially.
But hey, having just even a second is crucial, especially when you come into these assault maps. So that is a good job from Ultraviolet. Like I was saying, and that was going to be the other rotation I was going to suggest. You either go main, force them to come straight to point, or you go on that left side. Now, Soap's windows, I think, have been a little awkward. They've been a little premature. That last window, they were able to force the immortality out, but to be honest with you, I think that was just being a little bit hesitant and rushy, which I can understand because the Ant Matrix is so terrifying. But if Soap had left it be and then forced them and stayed on that high ground with the McCree, they could have had a beautiful window to attack from the side on the top while forcing both the Zarya bubbles coming out, the Reinhardt shield to be destroyed quicker. I mean, that would have been a make or break, an extra like 20 seconds for Ultraviolet. But hey, you know what? Kudos to them. They were able to get this point now. And hopefully right now they're running the Ashe instead of the McCree, which, can be just as good because you have that dynamite. You have the ability to kind of deal with these symmetric turrets that they don't know are coming, but they might have that clue. But at the same time, you don't have the Mercy Pocket, so Ashe's damage output isn't the best as what you wanted, but it's okay because you want to run that Lucio for that Reinhardt. You want to run that Baptiste because that Ant Matrix with an Ashe is just as deadly as a Ashe with a Mercy Pocket. The only difference is you got to wait for the ult to build. There's no blue beam. But hey, you got to play to your strengths, but they're running the double shield as well. That's also going to change up. So now Ashe has 2 tanks she can play behind instead of 1. So that's another good switch up. And finally, seeing Bubba switch off this Diva and play something different, I think that's going to be something that Miami Yikes is not going to expect.
Here comes the teleport. It goes onto high ground. I think the crucial point there is Enchanted might have been able to get a dynamite when everyone's grouped up like that. Now Macaroon caught outside of the room, outside of the point. Nuke and Doc both gonna find points, but Shy going down is not good, especially when Soap is still on the Ultraviolet, just pumping out the healing. Stonky has that highly charged laser, just going to cut through the shields on Ultraviolet, but we're gonna have to see. The Shatter from Nuke comes out early, but it just won't find many people on the ground. Daddy Cakes and Nuke both going to fall, but so will Macaroon, and it's going to be a brawl on this point. It looks like Miami Yikes getting the better of it. Soap decides it's worth the amplification matrix. Enchanted will find the dynamite, but go down shortly after, and respawns are here. Both these windows right next to each other. The wall is there. It's going to deny any healing from Soap. And Bubba Wyatt is alone. Going to get grabbed. Both those supports going to go down. And just a little shy is going to get multiple kills on the way to taking this point.
Yeah, one thing I think might have been a little unnecessary was throwing that grab area, getting both support, because you had won that fight. Now you don't have grab coming up, which can be a huge play coming up, especially since you know that they're running a Mei on the other side. And right now, the Mei ult charges are equal. They're both going to have it coming to the next fight. The difference is Stonky's got that wall, which can negate, quote unquote, the sidelines of Little Snowball. So that actually is a pretty good play. And Stonky going against the double shield, oof, not fun.
He is going to use the wall early, not going to be using it against any Blizzard coming soon. And Doc and Maroon and Stonky are both going to find some picks, and Stonky's got 3 on this fight. Already 1 pick coming through. They're just blitzing through this point. The ball trying desperately to stall, trying desperately to spin to win. Stonky will go down, but it'll be pennies in comparison to what Miami Yikes has taken from Ultraviolet at this point. They do get a good fight here, but Daddy Cake goes down early. Shy is just doing so much damage on this Baptiste, a jack of all trades. Got the healing, got the kills. He's just got it all. Turtle's going to block off the ball, but Macaroon falling could yield disaster for the Miami Yikes. All Ultraviolet needs to do is hang on and keep these respawns coming. Turtles will go down as well, but there might not be enough of them. 3 people left on the point, and they're still going, Miami Yikes. They're even going to throw in ultimates for it. The Moira trying to keep herself alive and her teammates, but they're still going. They're still getting these picks, and it's just a few more until potentially Miami Yikes will take this even down. Macaroon, sorry, playing this well. Shy going down. Good yield. Could be awful, but might not even matter. The stick on the Moira. 3 minutes and 21 seconds compared to a minute on Ultraviolet. That is a powerful play from Miami Yikes.
Yeah, it's going to be a uphill struggle right now for Ultraviolet coming into this OT first round. But hey, you know what? I'm going to give them kudos because that was one heck of a stall and a hold right there, proving why everyone just loves 2CP. Okay, but great switch up. So honestly, though, I mean, they actually made Miami Yikes earn that 3 minutes and 21 seconds. They forced them to use ults and just keep fighting. Honestly, I'm surprised Miami Yikes didn't just back off and just like regroup. No, they kept flooring it in. But you know what? The time bank don't lie. They are 2 minutes and 21 seconds better if you want to go there. But honestly, it is 2CP. Anything can happen. And, one thing I've come to learn, especially in Harmony tier, is a lot of teams just seem to like hit the throttle a lot harder when they got less time on these assault maps. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like, one team's going to, maybe the, team that's got 3 minutes or 2 minutes plus is a little cocky about it and they just kind of, hold off. But hey, it took one fight for Ultraviolet to get this point the first time. It could happen again, especially since they're running the same composition, but they don't know the Torbs there this time. Plus the Hanzo, that's a lot of stuff for Bubba to try to take, eat up, so that way the shield doesn't get taken out so quickly.
Definitely, you just saw that there. Both Bubba Wyatt and Nuke Shield dropping dangerously low. Both will get healed up. And so charging up that ult pretty fast, but so is Stonky at 42% to that Dragon Strike. Coming in onto the point. Nuke going to throw in that Fire Strike and a bit of ult charge. Macaroon going to get cut off by the wall slightly, but Stonky's just got 2 kills. Stonky's just, while we were talking, Stonky's just deleted the Ultraviolet DPS line, and he's not done. He's gonna take down Nuke. Why not more? Turtle will find Bubba Wyatt. Stonky will just find Soap as well, and Stonky will just... Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, Turtles, not to be outdone, not to be outdone, ever. Just going to end that off. And now, Miami Yikes, they can't lose this map.
Stonky's showing the value of a character that has the one-shot potential. Was able to get a 5K in that one entire fight. Took out was it Enchanted on the McCree so quickly. Enchanted had to switch over to the Doomfist. It had a beautiful rollout to point, but unfortunately, Turtles was just there with a Torb. And to be honest, Torb is probably one of the best brawler up close. Being a Doomfist going into a Torb with a turret right behind him. Well, you got the OT running, but I hate to say it, nothing else is going to happen there. Now it's time to try to go for that draw. This is, and we're seeing them going back on that double shield with the Orisa Reinhardt, which worked out pretty decent. They were able to stall, I think, about to 3 minutes and 24 seconds the first go around. So, give or take about 2 minutes, which is not bad, which means they do have the potential to do that. The difference is, Enchanted, are they going to set up on that high ground again? Because that was just a crucial mistake. Yes, you want the Ashe on the high ground, but they weren't expecting Stonky to send the whole team up and then just got deleted. We do see Enchanted, though, on the opposite side this time. Instead of on the left side, they're on the right side, which I think is a great play because you have about 3 ways you can leave, especially with that coach gun. So a little more safety.
Absolutely, but Stonky is back on this Symmetra. They're ready to teleport again. Here they come. Where are they going to go? Out comes the dynamite, and they're teleporting to the same place again. Here comes all of the team. They're just caught in this tiny little corner. That's actually Ultraviolet. 2 people just caught out. The immortality field from both Baptistes will come out. But already, just a little shy is going to go down for Miami Yikes. And Soap is the sole Baptiste on the field right now, going to be able to just give all the healing. Stonky will go down to nuke. There's going to be a boop forward. I think that was Curvicle going behind and booping some members of Miami Yikes forward. So good play by them regardless. Yeah. Good play by Ultraviolet, taking some time off the clock.
Yeah. Just they were ready for it. But just like I was saying, Enchanted learned from their mistakes. They pretty much figured out where it's going. Now they got to worry about Stonky on this Hanzo, which last round was just an absolute terrifying for Ultraviolet. Now Ultraviolet didn't have the double shields. They had the Diva, which means they were able to move quicker, but that defense matrix just wasn't there. I think this double shield is going to be a little bit more for Stonky to handle because he's going to have to be trying to destroy shield. Enchanted, being smart, trying to play that high ground, but it's got to be careful because Stonky, once again, has the potential to one shot where he doesn't.
Oh, but Nuke is just gonna come in, say hello, Earth Shatter time, and all Miami Yikes can do is say yes, honey, and they're gonna go down again in 1:30 on this clock, and what seemed like a mountain at the start of this round, not looking too bad for Ultraviolet.
Yes. And actually, the best part about it was they only invested that. They'll now have Bubble Watt's Bongo, which is going to be a huge, huge, huge advantage considering Doc will have the beat drop, but that will melt down those shields so quickly. Enchanted has the Bob. If I'm Enchanted, I'm waiting for that Blizzard to come out so Bob will be effective.
Absolutely. The Bongo, the Blizzard, the Bob, it's practically perfect alliteration, and already 3 picks Enchanted. Going to find 2 on that, and Queen Rabbit's going to get taken down in a late stagger. So will Doc, and now final fight territory for Miami Yikes. We're looking at the draw here almost, and only 2 ults on Miami Yikes compared to almost 3 for Ultraviolet.
And honestly, the Bongo Bob is probably going to get a little more value in this last fight than the Window is, because Bongo will be able to melt down both the Ant Matrix and the beat drop.
Window is actually going to get frozen up by the ice wall. Here comes the beat. They will engage on it. Miami Yikes. They gotta turn this. Black Macaroon. He's got the shatter as well. Soap is gonna find Macaroon, and Turtles will fall as well. It's even on the point here. There goes Doc. The Dragon Strike not gonna find. It's actually gonna find Nuke. It will just find Nuke right at the end there. Ultraviolet, Bubba Wyatt just trying to keep things going here, keep things alive on this point. This is going to be where legends are made, as now Cat Rock just going to go right off the side. Bubba Wyatt trying to find something. It'll find Stonky. Shy will go down. The Immortality Field destroyed, lying in pieces on the floor. And now it's a brawl for this point here. Everything counts. Macaroon going to go down. Nuke with the shatter to take down Doc on the ground. Will eventually fall, but there goes Soap, and there goes Bubba Wyatt. Will it be enough? It won't. And the draw on Hanamura will definitely sour up Miami Yikes' mood.
That was a huge play coming in from Ultraviolet right there. I swear they were listening to me because literally everything I was saying that they needed to do, when they started to do it, it just things started to roll right for them. I'm actually shocked. Miami Yikes seems like they wanted to stay in fights a little too long, and I think that's what cost them it. Plus the ult usage there just didn't seem like it was on Lijiang Tower. It seemed a little more forceful. You had the early Blizzard to come out. Honestly, once Daddy Cakes used their Blizzard, I would have said, hold off. We'll let that Blizzard burn out. We're not going to engage this fight. We're going to let it be a dry ult fight and continue in the next round because you got to think. Enchanted had Bob. Didn't have to use Bob because they got taken out because Stonks was just madhouse on that Hanzo. But at the same time, you got to think about what's coming out. Blizzard's effect, not only does it have the ability to, slow down people and, create an area of space for safety, but let's say, Bubba used that bongo or the Bob came out. That is now two more ult charges that Blizzard can negate. The Blizzard can take out the bongo. The Blizzard can stop Bob from being effective. That's something that, if I was Miami Yikes, when I'm going back to the VOD review, that's when I'm going to look and say, hey, this is what we could have done, and that would have been an easy map 2. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're not over yet. We got map 3 coming up right now because guess what? Halftime's after map 3, so let's go. But at the same time, guys, that also means we now have a 5th map as well because it is best of 4. So kudos to Ultraviolet not letting this be a 4-0 match. So I'm very happy. I think they've started to kind of get their rhythm going. And, when I was talking with some of the players of Ultraviolet, they were telling me, we're not the first 2 map kind of team. We're a later team. We kind of wake up slowly. And as the game gets going, we start rolling. And you know what? I can't wait to see it because we're on our favorite. The one and only Scrims Row, people. Just what everyone's been waiting to see since it was out of the picture for the second stage.
Kings Row, baby. All right. We all know what to expect from Kings Row. You expect the Rush comp. You expect maybe some Widow. You expect the Lucio, the Run, the Zarya, the Meg, and it's Kings Row. What else do you gotta say about it? It's just Kings Row.
Yeah, in all honesty, a lot of the escort maps, and I know a lot of people don't like to admit this, but a lot of the escort maps are just so well designed. They're so open for so many comps. Yes, you can run the Widowmaker, you can run double sniper, you can run double shield, but if I'm either one of these teams right now, I'm running definitely a Reinhardt. I'm definitely running either Diva or Zarya. And if we got Queen in, her Zarya was just obliterating everything. We're not dying. There's some things though that they should have learned too. Bubba was not really doing a good job on the Orisa playing around their shield or the Immortality. There was a couple times I was shocked that Bubba survived because he was jumping out of the Immortality or going in front of their shield. And that was something that kind of shocked me. And maybe it's just, panic mode, trying to get everything. And it ended up him getting a punch kill on Stonky, which, led to that draw. So, sometimes the panicness does come helpful, but at the same time, you got to start paying attention to stuff like that. You start picking out the weak links. Enchanted was always, not playing behind the shield, so Stonky switched over that Hanzo was able to take him out. Those are things you're going to have to start looking for. And now, when you're King's Row, there's so many things you can do, but I know one thing for a fact. We're going to see that Mei. We're going to see that McCree coming out because both teams have loved that. When we saw them on Hanamura, it was definitely the go-to. So I think pretty much what we're going to see tonight is the same comps we've been seeing. The Lucio Bap, which is just great for Brawl. The Ryan Zarya is definitely going to be Miami's pick because, like we were saying at the beginning, in this tier, you want to go for comfort, not for meta. Even though, technically speaking, for King's Row, Zarya Ryan is king of the hill on this map. So I'm not shocked. And Bubba, we know, just loves that diva so much, so it's no doubt they're going to see it. But once again, they got to think about what kind of value they're going to get going up against this Mei and Zarya.
Absolutely, but what it already showing the value of that diva, eating that Macaroon's Fire Strike very early. The wall from Turtles will block off a few members of Ultraviolet, but not as many as they would have liked. Now Ultraviolet sitting around this statue, waiting, and just already this aggression you see coming out from the Rush Comp. Immortality Field coming up, but Nuke will already fall, so Immortality going to be doing nothing inside that wall. Daddy Cakes just trying here, going to have to beat a retreat on for Ultraviolet.
Yeah, I will say Nuke a little too aggressive there. But one thing I did like Nuke did, they used that third person view to kind of scout out the Mei, which was big. The only thing they need to do now was just group up and all get past, because they could have easily got past that wall before it came up.
Absolutely, Nuke gonna throw out the Fire Strike. It'll be dodged by everyone, but that's such a dangerous combination, throwing the Fire Strike through the window. It does enough damage to kill any 200 HP target already. Macaroon will fall, so will Queen Rabbit, and that's just both the tanks for the Miami Yikes, and now the rest of them are just going to get run over by Enchanted. Eventually Nuke will fall, but it'll be a pittance compared to the spoils from that first point.
Great play coming out from Ultraviolet. Not to mention, Macaron lost their Shatter. They were killed during the Shatter. That's a great advantage. Now you've got Nuke with their Shatter. Bubba's about to get that bomb. That's a great combination. They could come out. All they have to do is just force the Immortality, and it's a free, at least, couple kills.
Absolutely. Here comes the High Noon. A lot of skulls there, but none going to result in kills. Already Stonky going down pretty low, but the Blizzard's gonna freeze everybody. Macaroon with a double kill. Bubba White actually threw in the bomb. It'll get shy, but at what cost? It'll just be an ultimate thrown out to a fight with everyone else in the Blizzard.
You know, I'm not terribly too mad about that bomb. Yes, Bubba could have saved it, but they did take out Just. So now you don't have that Baptiste Immortality. So right now, you know, if I'm Ultraviolet, I'm pushing forward. I'm not holding on waiting for my team. They're down their main healer. They're down that free get out of free jail card, but now he's there back. It's not going to matter. That bomb's now been wasted completely.
Nuke on this Reinhardt swing for the fences, throws out that Fire Strike. Already at 44 HP. There goes Macaroon, thanks to Enchanted on this McCree, gonna take down the Lucio as well, and Nuke is just charging his ultimate so fast, going to go down, but got so much damage, so much value out of the Reinhardt, and eventually, oh, Stonky, good night, says Enchanted, as second point going to Ultraviolet with a lot of time now. They have 4 minutes and 38 seconds.
And that's great. And here's what I'll say too about both the off tanks, unfortunately wasting their ults in that previous fight. They're now both at 70% ult charge or above. So they're getting their ults pretty quick. So, you know, throwing a bomb or a grav out here is not terrible. But I know Queen, if they had kept that grav, would have been a whole different story on the time bank.
Maybe. Here comes the High Noon from Enchanted. It won't get any kills, but that Immortality is going to go down. And that's a lot of damage. That Immortality Field doesn't prevent all damage. It just stops you from going below a certain percentage. Macaroon already pretty low, and it's 6 ults on Miami. Yikes. That's a terrifying thing to see, as more check marks than Twitter.
You know, one thing I'd like to see Ultraviolet do is use their Lucio more effective right now, because once they lost their Reinhardt, they have time on the bank. They should have just sped out. Instead, they kept feeding. And like you said, Miami Yikes now has 6 ults. Granted, Ultraviolet has 4, a 5th one coming up pretty soon, but still, just that ult economy difference.
And it is. Stonky will be the first to use it. Here comes the Shatter from Nuke. It'll find 3! That was so delayed. What happened there? I think he might have gotten booped up, but the Shatter, it'll take down Macaroon. The Blizzard will keep more follow-up from coming through. There goes the window from Baptiste. Just a little shy. trying to keep this winnable, but Queen Rabbit's gonna go down, and it looks like there might be a few following them already. Sorry, it heralds disaster, but the shatter from Macaroon just dropping in will find 4, but the healing is there to keep everyone alive. Nuke going dangerously low will go down, and that's it. It's not good to lose your main tank like that. Shatter already came out, but now shoes on the other foot. Miami Yikes did win that, but 4 ults on the side of Ultraviolet to only about 3 on their side.
Yeah, I think Nuke used that new technique where if you jump at the right time, you get a little extra bunny hop, and you can get behind the shield. And I think that's what happened there. So good on Nuke to be able to get that mechanic down.
That would be really awesome. Already Bubba Wyatt going to find Stonky Macaroon as well. Going to go down, and 2 down already for, oh no, 2 down, and there's just nothing you can do. Queen Rabbit tries throwing in the grab, but there's just no one left to follow it up. Macaroon gets the kill into Kerbicle though on that Lucio, but it just isn't enough. There goes the high noon in the window on the immortality field. Will do very little when the point has been capped with 1:44 left for Ultraviolet.
Yeah, good job on Ultraviolet. And they actually did what I said. They used their Lucio to back out the moment they lost their main tank. The only time I would have stayed there is if you had taken out their main support, like the Baptiste, who's just dishing out so many heals, because you know, even though they have the sustain of the Reinhardt shield, they don't have the heals to keep up, and you have your damage with you. Or you also take out their Reinhardt. But they did the right thing that next round, and they were able to build up those ults, push through. One thing too that I will say is great about the Diva, even though Bomb is kind of a throwaway ult, no pun intended, they do have that defense matrix, which allows them to stay in fights a lot longer, which I was saying earlier, you know, that's the difference between running the Zarya versus the Diva. Diva is great for the longer the fight goes. Zarya is not, because you got those bubble cooldown management, and I'm just going to say right now, it showed right there. Bubba's cool defense matrix definitely outweighed Queen on the bubbles.
It's interesting here. Queen Rabbit on the ball. Of course, they are in spawn, Miami Yikes, so they could very well switch to pretty much anything, double shield, bunker, whatever they want, but they are going to go with the trusty, I'm sorry, with a Pharmacy. They're changing to the Pharmacy.
Yeah, and that's actually kind of huge, because the Pharmacy can't, if Enchanted is not getting their shots, Turtles will be staying up high, but you know, you do have to worry about the Diva, and Diva's a great counter coming against Pharah.
The odds are stacked against Turtles, but already gonna find Daddy Case. Oh no, there goes the May, and that's going to be the Horn of War for... Gonna be the Horn of War for Miami Yikes. Is already so much damage getting pumped into the members of Ultraviolet, thanks to Turtles, thanks to Macaroon, and just everyone on the team. And off that one pick, Miami Yikes are going to get 2 ticks, close to 3. They will stall out, but Daddy Cake's gonna fall early again. It's just brutal. Already Macaroon going to have the shatter on. It's gonna be available, but Turtles has the barrage.
Yeah, great play. That Pharmacy was just so devastating. Daddy Cakes keeps getting caught, you know, past the shield or right next to it. As a Mei player, yes, you want to be able to freeze people, but at the same time, if you're running that Mei, Daddy Cakes, I'm sure he's switching right now, you got to think, my walls are my most effective ability. I can heal myself. I can be a pill for my support, and my icicles are pretty deadly and got no fall-off damage. It's okay to play back as the Mei, especially if you're running into this Pharmacy like this. And not to mention, you got stock on the Hanzo once again. That's a lot of spam damage. You're going to have to play a little more conservative. You're going to have to play behind walls and probably not build up the Blizzard as quick as you want. But Daddy Cakes, switch it over to the Hanzo. We'll see if he can actually match stock on this mirror game.
That will be the name of the game, but Turtles have already taken out Enchanted. That's the big counter. Nuke's gonna throw out the shatter, but it won't find anyone on the ground. You have the grab and you have the dragons for both for Miami Yikes, and the Immortality Field is down. They're gonna get pushed back somehow with the, oh no, Macaroon with the Shatter will find 3 on the ground, and that's just gonna keep this payload moving. And I thought that Ultraviolet had a good time coming into third point. Miami Yikes, they've got 5.5 minutes.
I mean, essentially, it's just a one fight difference too. But that's also it. And now instead of wasting the off tank ults, they both have their tank ults. So that's also another difference too. Is just how much of a harder push Miami Yikes has done.
Bomb is going to come in. It's coming in over the top, and it'll find 2. Bubba Wyatt will find 2 and the Immortality Field. And Ultraviolet, they'll slam shut like a bear trap. They will take out the members of Miami Yikes, putting a quick stop to that momentum.
And that was just with a Diva Bomb. And earlier I was saying doesn't get much value, but right there got the ultimate value. Not only did it force out the lamp, but took out 2. And then Enchanted just free high in range.
That was Turtles has the Sprosh gonna throw it out, but Daddy Cakes falling, throws out the arrow and finds the head of Turtles, and it'll go down. Doc as well. Enchanted will fall, but it'll be nothing compared to what Bubba Wyatt is doing. Incredible play from Bubba and from Daddy Cakes.
So Daddy Cakes now has used the dragon a lot quicker than Stonks has. Stonks is waiting for Queen to use theirs. And that's the difference when you're running a Diva and Zarya is, the Dragon Strike coming out from the Hanzo with a Diva is for zoning, and that's exactly what Daddy Cakes used it for, and it was just an easy push. Now you got the window.
Nuke throws out the Shatter, no one on the ground gonna get blocked. Both the Immortality Fields will come out. There goes the grab, there goes the Dragons, but the beat from Carbicle is there. Still 2 picks from Miami Yikes versus only 1 on the side of Ultraviolet. So Ultraviolet will have to pull back, but they'll be back shortly. Oh no, but Daddy Cakes gets caught out by Stonky.
Yeah, that is a huge pick. Now the window comes out, and Deadeye finds Stonky.
Stonky's gonna go down to that Deadeye, and that's just not good. Oh, Turtles! Oh, Macaroon! It's just disgusting when Macaroon finds the Shatter, and now Macaroon, please turn around. Unfortunate. Oh, goodbye, Bomb. A very incredible boot by Doc. Here comes the tire from Turtles, sending it out, but will get taken down by some micro missiles in the meantime, and off of some pretty good stall. Miami Yikes, they'll have to pull back, and now they're only a minute ahead of the ending time bank for Ultraviolet.
They do, though, have that grab dragon. If Doc isn't quick enough to get that beat drop, they will find more value than they did the last time the combo happened. So that's actually something that's going to come into play. That window will kind of push back Miami Ice, cutting a little more time, but it's not enough because now you got the grab coming in with the dragon.
There goes the dragon again. Somehow the Immortality Field will keep them alive for a little bit, but Enchanted and Carbicle will get found out late. And Stonky's just so good on this Hanzo. It's just amazing. And eventually, round 2 will end at a minute 58 compared to a minute 44. Pretty much equal time banks from 2 teams that, let's be honest here, we thought we had a favorite coming into this match.
Yeah, like I was saying before, like I was told from Ultraviolet, they're a team that, after the first 2 maps wakes up, and this time bank difference clearly shows it. If this was the first map, I guarantee you it would have been about 4 or 5 minutes for Miami Yikes, and maybe not even a third point for Ultraviolet. But they've seemed to really woken up. Between a 14-second difference right now, that's not much of a difference considering how quickly both teams were able to take the points. The difference is now, how are they going to engage differently? Because Turtles is on this Junkrat that said this Mei. Nuke did a great job trying to spot out the Mei last time. The only problem was they didn't go push in together, and then he wasted his shield, got melted down quick, and then they had to re-engage. But that aggressiveness was kind of helpful because Soap did build that Ant Matrix so quickly, but now switching over to this Ana as well, they're running into a double shield, and Ana doesn't really get too much value when playing against a double shield. But hey, Soap has gotten their ults quickly with the Baptiste, so you know what? I'm gonna trust Soap on this call right now because that you can probably get a lot more value out of that Nano than you have been on the Windows. So
Macaroon early going to throw out that Fire Strike, and Ultraviolet, they're taking. They're gonna go through this hotel. They're gonna go all the way around. Interesting choice considering that they have less time bank than when they started. Of course, time. That's how that works. But already just so much damage coming in from Miami Yikes. They're charging their ults so fast. Already Turtles taking advantage of how grouped up the members of Ultraviolet are gonna find Curvicle and just charge up this ultimate so fast. 74%, 80%, make it 90%. He's got the tire, and it's only been the first fight.
yeah, and like you were saying, it definitely seemed like a weird strategy. I think what they were expecting was that Mei, and going up that high ground, even if it does waste a little time, is not bad because then the Mei loses the value of the wall. But, once they figured out the Mei wasn't there, they honestly should have split up a little more. Like you said, it was very grouped up. Now Turtles has that tire. That is very dangerous for Ultraviolet because now they only have 30 seconds. It's just a one push left for them, and they're waiting for, Daddy Cakes just now came out of the spawn. It's just going to be a nail biter for them.
That it is. Here comes Turtles Reptire. It'll find Enchanted. It'll DMAC Bubble Wyatt. Daddy Cakes will fall, and so will the baby Diva, and it's just catastrophe here for Ultraviolet. They've got one last desperate attempt to scrape together anything, even assembling a push. Here it comes already. Stonky going to use the High Noon. Oh, he's got two. He's got Enchanted. He's got the D-Mac. He's got Curvicle. He's got Daddy Cakes. He's got Bubba Wyatt. He's got everybody. He's just insane.
He's
Stonky.
Different. Ooh.
Just built different. He's just built by some sort of incredible creator.
Well, it's not over yet. We've already seen Ultraviolet hold him to a tie. They can do it a second time, which would mean a map 6 coming in.
Potentially a map 9. No.
It's going to be map 9. We're not getting there. But
it could be, though.
It could be, but I'm already telling you it's not going to be because I feel like one of these teams is just going to just get that little bit more inspirational on these maps when we come back from halftime after this map is over. And it's just going to be a whole different side. Because like I said, you got to look at it. Ultraviolet has been waking up. They've been doing a lot better. And they still haven't had one of their other DPS players come in yet. They still haven't had Old Kong, who we haven't seen play. And Old Kong, I think, is a true hit scan player. Enchanted we've seen be a very good flex DPS, but we haven't seen a true hit scan coming in. And coming up on the, the escort maps and that kind of stuff, a hit scan player comes with a lot more value. You can negate Turtles on this far a lot easier. You can negate him when he's on that Junkrat, not being able to do the flanks as he's been doing as well because you can keep that distance from you. So that's something people's going to have to think about coming in later on in the future matches. But you know what? Miami Yikes does have that one marker up. Even if this is a draw, they still have not as much pressure. So right now, if I'm Miami Yikes, I'm relaxing. And the way Turtle played this far last time, I'm not even considering this a tie. I'm considering this our map.
We'll have to see if it continues as Turtles has to hold this angle so tight. Already so much damage coming in. The Immortality Field has to come out just to keep people alive from just the rain of destruction coming in from Turtles on the air and Stonky on the ground. Shy's Immortality Field will fall later as well, but Enchanted is going to go so low. We'll get that healing, but it won't be enough for Macaroon's going to actually go down. Here goes the window from Soap, just able to charge that ult so fast. There goes Doc, there goes Macaroon, there goes Queen Rabbit, and I'm getting deja vu here, Gizmo.
You know what? If they make me eat my words, that is fine because Daddy Cakes was doing what I said he needed to do the last round, and that was play further back. And now because he did that, not only did he get more value just getting damage, but they actually got more value in just using the wall. They were able to negate damage and allowed their tanks to, resupply the shield.
But now look at these ultimates, a lot on the side of Ultraviolet and Shatter, both going to come in, and a few stuns, but neither going to result in any kills. There goes Turtles with the barrage, going to get a trade. There goes the beat from Kerbisol. Maybe a little bit of an overcommit there. You have the grab, you have the dragons on the side of Miami. Yikes, Queen Rabbit just got it. There goes the grab, and there goes the dragons, Daddy Cakes, and Soap, and Kerbical, and Bubba Wyatt all fall down. Oh no, indeed. And that's going to be a yikes from me for Miami Yikes. They're going to get their second map, just barely prying it out from that draw, from the jaw of the draw.
Yeah, Stonky's been huge on that Hanzo, as we'll see in this play of the game. But I just want to point out, I don't know if anyone noticed, but Enchanted just came rolling out of nowhere and got Turtles on the Pharah. It was beautiful. I saw it like at the very corner of my eyes, but good job from Stonky here. Definitely being the Hanzo diff, just being so clean with the aim. It's hard to believe that this person plays in plat the way that they're just aiming right now. The tracking, the following, it just, and the dragon ult uses. But you know what? That's okay, because now we're coming into halftime. They're going to be cooling down. Miami Yikes has the 2 maps coming in. They only have to get 2 more maps for the rest of this match. But Ultraviolet's still not out because they did get that draw. So if I'm Ultraviolet, I'm coming into halftime. I'm talking with my teammates. I'm saying, hey, maybe this is, where we changed up. They've had, some switches coming out. They do have Billy on coach, so that is a good advantage for them. They do have a really good coach coming in, so maybe he'll be able to point out a lot of the stuff that they were making mistakes, like I was saying, just positioning wise and all that. And once again, they don't have their full roster here yet because one of their teammates is coming in late, and hopefully Old Kong will show up and be able to to help stop Turtles from doing so much, maybe even put a little more pressure on Stonky, and that way Daddy Cakes or Enchanted, whoever the other DPS is coming in, can relax and do their job a lot more. But you know what? Once again, Ultraviolet, good job on that. You guys seem to be clicking. You seem to be waking up more. And hey, since it is 2-4 matches, or to the first of 4, and you did draw that second map, are looking like a normal matchup, right? Coming in, you got the back 2 maps to, get, and then it'll just be a 3rd map, and then you'll have to get that 4th map. So, hey, try to draw it onto the 6th map here, ladies and gentlemen. But that's going to be it for us for right now. We're going to go to halftime. We'll see you back in about 10 minutes.
Welcome back, and we're here with Miami Yikes versus Ultraviolet. And no, you're not looking at that score wrong. We did play our 3 maps. Promise. Miami Yikes and Ultraviolet did draw on Hanamura, and 2-0 is the current score. So let's look. So just it's been a good game thus far, and now Route 66 is going to be our first escort map. Gizmo, what do you think we're going to see from these two teams now that they've had time during this halftime to cool off? What do you think we're going to see?
I think we're going to keep seeing what we've been seeing, and that's Stonky just popping off on this Hanzo. Route 66 actually is a pretty decent map for Hanzo player, but looking over at the chat right now, I don't see Old Kong in it, so I don't think they're able to make it to this 4th map. So that might come as an issue. But Enchanted has been popping off on that McCree as well. So, if I'm Turtleless right now, Pharah might not be the best on this first point, just because it's so open lanes in case there is like a Widowmaker play or an Ash. I would probably, if I was going to play a projectile carrier that flies, I'd go with Echo. Echo's going to get a little more value here. It's going to be able to be a little faster and have more potential to kill someone. But hey, you know what? Turtles has just been amazing on the splash damage characters. So you could run the Junkrat, you could run the Pharah. But now if we're going back to Ultraviolet, oof, oof. Yeah, it's critical time right now. You're down 2 maps. You've got at least to map 5. Try to make a difference. Okay. Even if you lose this one, you still have that map 5 to turn things around. So this is where you really, really wake up. We got to see them really, start playing a lot better. It seemed like their ults. There's just, like I said, a few little mistakes. Now, if I'm their coach, Billy, I'm talking to my DPS saying, hey, here you are overextended. You got picked early, okay? You're not playing behind your shield. Stonky has been getting headshot after headshot on that Hanzo. So you got to think, where am I going to play safe? We started to see it towards the end on Kings Row. Daddy Cakes was playing a little further back, like I suggested, was able to use their wall as a 3rd shield. So that was a good advantage. But you know what? It didn't matter because the ults came in at the end because there was just a little too much time. So now if I'm Miami Yikes, I'm relaxed, but I'm still putting my foot on the throttle. I'm letting Stonky play that Hanzo. I'm letting Queen on that Zarya or the Orisa, which we do see coming out. But, I hope Enchanted not messing with us with the Bastion and the Tor. But, okay, there we go. There goes the Symmetra. I was like about to be so happy, a little pirate ship going on here. But Bubba on the Roadhog, that is actually that's a character we don't get to see too very often right now because meta just doesn't allow it. But hey, you know what? With the way things are going, it might not. Okay, Bubba really just the whole team's messing with me here. I can't even say what they're playing. But Daddy Cakes is going to probably thinks they're going to go against that mirror match on the Hanzo. But what they don't know is Slunky's actually running the Ash, and Turtles is on the Torb. So this is going to be hard. This bunker cop coming around this corner, they're not going to be ready for it. Even though Bubba's on this Diva, it might be time to maybe get off that Diva and switch over to a double shield because it's about to be bunker versus bunker if you're not too careful.
That it is, and here we go. Already, Ryan Shield just trying to protect the members of Ultraviolet from a lot of damage coming out from Miami Yikes. Halo gonna keep moving, and he will drop down, try and contest nuke on this Reinhardt. He's gonna get so much ult charge from that fire strike. Daddy Cakes is on the Hanzo trying to mirror Stonky's earlier performances. But Stonky has moved on to the Ash. That's the new fashion, he says. But Bubba Wyatt not gonna accept that. Taking down Macaroon, quickly revived. And now here comes the Fire Strike. Not gonna catch anyone, just barely going to miss. And now this part getting really, really close to the end. And the Shatter going to reach 3. And Nuke will get a double kill with the Fire Strike. And that is first point for Ultraviolet. 5 minutes on the clock.
I will say one thing. Ultraviolet has been doing a better job, and that's winning the ult charge game. They've been getting their ults a lot quicker. Daddy Cakes still taking a little extra time to get that Dragon Strike, but hey, you know what? They forced Stonky to switch off the Ash to do that mirror match. Turles, though, I've been questioning these turret placements. I don't know if you see, they seem to like to throw it behind a sign, and I don't know if they know, but the sign can't really do anything because it can't get the angle on somebody.
We've seen Stonky. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
We've seen Stonky do so much work on this Hanzo. There comes Daddy Cakes on with the ultimate, but Turtles with the molten core just going to absolutely coat the floor in lava, and Daddy Cakes will get taken down by Stonky as well. And Stonky will find 2 on this Hanzo. That's the Stonky we know and love, gonna take down 3 members of Ultraviolet. Stonky saying, "You've tried to play my Hanzo against me? Have at me."
Yeah, Stonky, I think, was just trying to show us that they weren't just a Hanzo OTP, which is great and all, but hey, you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And switching back over, Stonky's proven. Although Turles, great molten core coming out from the Tord. Even though I'm questioning the turret placements, he did get his ult quick enough, so I guess he does know a little something about the Dwarven character.
That he does. Enchanted will take down that turret early. Here comes the amplification matrix. So much damage going to come in onto the members of Miami Yikes. Now Ultraviolet playing around this window, trying to just avoid all the damage coming through it. Already Queen Rabbit going to have a lot of damage.
Woo!
And Bubba Wyatt just going to do so much on this diva. These bombs have just been on point.
Yeah, great bomb coming out from Bubba. Send it over the top of the bar, just out of reach for the Reinhardt shield to protect everyone. And with that, now Nuke, by the way, had the shatter already, but gets to keep it now, and they're going to have 4 minutes and 28 seconds. This is looking good, just like King's Row. But here's the thing. We're now on this escort map. They don't have to capture a point, so it's just going to be who can hold the spawn door if we get into the OT.
That it is, and Stonky now has that Dragon Strike, but Queen Rabbit is nowhere near the Graviton. I think Stonky might just have to throw it in. Oh no, there's the window. The shatters get blocked, but not Nuke's shatter, as Nuke's just going to explode all over the members of Miami Yikes. Turtles is just sitting with 19 HP and a dream, just trying to stay alive here. Staying on 19 HP, eventually he'll get taken down so late in this fight by Bubba Wyatt.
Yeah, what a great stagger thing on the DPS. Unfortunately for Turtles getting caught with that low health. But I will say this, Macaroon panicked on that shatter because the shield broke, so I don't blame him on that. But hey, great play coming from Nuke.
The Dragon Strike draws out the Immortality field from just a little shy. Now, Curvico will drop this beat, trying to keep the hopes alive. Bubba Wyatt has the bomb. We've seen so many good ones from him. We'll see if he can get another. It'll clear off the point, almost cause the members of Miami Yikes to step off, but Stonky's on the Hanzo. And when Stonky's on the Hanzo, the Stonks are rising, and he'll keep this point alive for Miami Yikes.
Yeah, I'm also glad that Queen switched back over to the Zarya. It's definitely their most comfortable tank, and right now, after one fight on the Zarya, already has Grav. As long as they don't get early pick because of bad positioning, it, make or break.
Absolutely, the Immortality field's going to come out early from Shy, but there goes Queen Rabbit with the Graviton. There goes the Dragons, but already Bubba Wyatt has the picks onto the tanks. But enough came through from Doc and Turtles that there might not be enough, and Stonky's just going to get another pick just for fun, as not a fight goes by without Stonky getting a pick.
Queen really has to thank their DPS right now, because that Grav was a little questionable. Yes, you got 3 in the backline, but you gave up helping protect your main tank, and that's the value of the Zarya. You get to play with that Ryan. Ooh, Daddy!
Oh, Daddy Cakes, taking it right to Stonky. When you come at the king, you best not miss. And Daddy Cakes is doing none of that. Enchanted, Daddy Cakes is gonna get another, but the shatter from Macaroon is gonna find 5 on the ground, and both the tanks will find one. Macaroon will go down. But with these closer spawns, it's just it won't be enough for Miami. It won't be enough for Ultraviolet to break this hold for Miami Yikes, and time is ticking away.
Yeah. Enchanted, I like the idea of trying to use that window, but if your Baptiste is putting that window behind the payload, you're blocking so much view. And then you get caught by a shatter. If I'm Enchanted, I'm trying to get the high ground on the left side and try to either get a flank or maybe even backing up just a little bit further, trying to, High Noon doesn't have like a real range, especially after that change they did just a few, seasons ago. So that's one difference I would do.
Bubble Wyatt is just incredible on this diva. Just able to get all of the picks all the picks you would want from a diva bomb, and just even with the immortality field, with all the odds against them, they're able to get these picks, and it's magical. And yet still, Ultraviolet not able to get anything going when Stonky's hitting shots like that. What was that? What was that?
Stonky's just nutty on the Hanzo right now. I think he got mad when Daddy Cakes got the headshot on him, honestly.
He was only using 10% of his true power. The window is both going to go towards each other, and both of these dragons will get fired out. Nuke has the shatter, but Macaroon has already got 4 on the ground. Nuke will throw it out and get 4 on the ground as well, but he won't be there to follow it up. Everyone gets up, and that shatter just gets nothing. Turtles, the Molten Core will find 2, but Enchanted will find 2 as well. Turtles will just make it 3, and Ultraviolet has Nuke on this Wrecking Ball spinning to win, but won't be spinning for long, as that'll be the end of round 1. 2 points and 73 meters, and now it's going to be up to Ultraviolet to defend it.
So if I'm Ultraviolet right there, you had a great push on the first 2 points, but you know what the difference on the third point was switch ups. Miami Yikes switched up to those comfortable picks. Turles just absolutely terrorizing on this little man named Torbjorn and his turret. If I was Ultraviolet, one thing I would have probably done, maybe keep Daddy Cakes on that Hanzo just for the initial spam damage, but Enchanted. Not getting enough value on McCree. You didn't really have enough value with the stuns. You weren't getting any value with your Deadeyes, which, granted, Deadeye is considered a throwaway ult. You're usually using it for zoning, but the positioning, like I said, just wasn't there to do so. Instead, if I was Enchanted, you're in a small corridor. They're running a Torbjorn. Mirror match with a Torbjorn, or even maybe go to the Junkrat. Try to get just as much spam damage because they have the Zarya. They don't have that Diva, which means once the bubbles are gone, yes, Queen is going to be supercharged, but, the shield goes down. Nuke was getting fat shatters once Macaroon's shield was going down. That's just something to think about. But you know what? We're finally seeing something we haven't seen all night, and that's the double bubble coming out from Miami Yikes. And that's not a bad call, especially considering you might be thinking Ultraviolet is holding that high ground. And they're not going to do that same rotation falling off the back, because they saw what happened to Miami Yikes when they did it. So this double bubble is going to be huge, but you do have the pill of Bubba on this Diva still.
Yeah, we were talking about Bubba Wyatt maybe needing to switch off the Diva, but you know what? In my eyes, he's kind of redeemed himself already at 30% ult charge, doing a lot of damage and a lot of work. Here comes Turtles on the Genji, diving in, going to get immediately chunked down by a combination of Daddy Cakes and Enchanted on the flashbang, and Daddy Cakes gets another on the Hanzo, taken after Stonky the student may have become the master. We're just gonna have to see what Stonky's got in store for us, already 65% up the way to that ult.
Yeah. One thing I will say is Turtles a little impatient on that dive. The Genji shouldn't be the initiator because Winston is a tank and you're expecting that bubble to go to him. I would have waited for Macaroon to go in there and force that flashbang out, maybe the immortality, and then you might have had a different result. It might be past this corner and they might have been down the BAF at least.
Maybe, but now that BAF has ult, and so does Stonky. We're gonna have to see who uses it first and who uses it better. Nuke has the shatter, gonna try and peek around the window, gonna get 2 on the ground. Macaroon will be nanoed, but part of that will be going to waste when he's shattered. But Stonky Stonky's got 2. Enchanted will find 1, but it'll be nothing compared to what Stonky's got. He's got 3. And Doc, the Mercy, going to become the harm assist from the farm assist. Going to take down Bubba Wyatt.
Yeah. Now, Bubba does have bomb, but honestly, I would like to see Bubba switch off this diva, maybe go to that Zarya, because it seems like the dragon or the grab is just getting just a little more value than the bombs have. So I will say, though, the bombs have looked nice.
Enchanted with this Deadeye, going to find Macaroon. Even holding that Deadeye for so long, I thought his hands were just clutched around it. Turtles with the Dragon Blade will find Nuke, but just a little shy is going to fall to Daddy Cake's Dragon. But Queen Rabbit! Queen! What an absolute queen play. And Miami Yikes, off the back of some good play by Queen Rabbit. And Stonky, of course, can't forget Stonky, will take first point, 3 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock.
Now, Miami Yikes, you got to think to yourself, this is kind of working for us, but Ultraviolet had a better time bank coming off this first point. But Stonky, ooh, just the one person right now I wouldn't change is Stonky. Stonky has to stay on this Hanzo right now. They're just absolutely filling the Shimada brother.
It's just art. It's art what Stonky is making. He's just making art. And the members of Ultraviolet are his canvas and his paints. Eventually Enchanted will go down, but the Mercy is there to res Doc, giving their life. And that's a huge anti-nade from Shy, getting 3 people, and Macaroon with the Primal Rage is gonna knock everybody into the corner. Eventually going to go down though. A little bit too much aggression, and already Stonky has the Dragon Strike again. Just has so much, and gonna take down Soap as well. It's just disgusting what Stonky is able to do with this Hanzo, with that one-hit kill potential. And now we're gonna see them re-engage with its dive. The Winston going to get so much damage. Queen Rabbit! No! No, Queen Rabbit was going so well. Turtles will fall to Daddy Cake's Pulse Bomb, and Daddy Cake's on this Tracer, doing so well. Macaroon will get revived and take down Daddy Cakes though, and that might be the end of this second point. And Miami Yikes, they're almost 1 point away from the end of this map and getting to match point, but we still have the stall coming in from, oh my gosh, Enchanted and Nuke and Soap are all gonna get picks, and that's gonna be Ultraviolet coming in, and after a long extended period of fights, they will stop it right before the end of point 2.
Right now, if I'm just a little shy, I would be wanting that nano back that came in so late on Macaroon. I believe it was to save Macaroon, but you know what? The value of it didn't really matter, because guess what? Ultraviolet is now here holding off. And once again, Ultraviolet doing better. They are waking up. They are playing their game now. It seems like they finally understand here. I think right now the difference is Macaroon is being a little stubborn, staying on this Winston. I think they need to switch off the dive, especially if Genji's not getting the Nano Blade. It's almost moot point.
Oh, Enchanted finds the pick onto Queen Rabbit, and Turtles just get stunned and taken down. Enchanted's just gotten all the picks here. Queen Rabbit will get revived, but gonna get taken down again pretty soon by Daddy Cakes. Not one to be outdone. Will find 2 picks of their own, and just incredible play by Ultraviolet and their DPS.
Yeah, Daddy Cakes, stay on this Tracer right now, because it looks like you're playing in the diamond level play with the way you're tracking around and following through stuff. It's been the best DPS I've seen from Daddy Cakes. Not that Daddy Cakes hasn't been playing awesome all night, but you know, like we've been saying all night, you want to play comfort picks. And now Macaroon finally getting off that Winston. Now that there's only 1 fight left, this switch up might have been a little too late. But Turles going over to this far for the pharmacy. Ooh, Ultraviolet, you better be ready for it this time.
We'll see if they are. Got 2 ults on the side of Miami Yikes compared to 4 on the side of Ultraviolet, but the 2 that Miami Yikes have, it's the grab, it's the dragons, and they're coming up on the support ults. Queen Rabbit going to throw out the grab. Here comes the dragons, but the immortality field is there. Oh, and Kerbicle was just 1 point away from the beat. Could have saved Soap, but was not able to. Turtles will get taken down, immediately revived, but there goes Stonky. Kerbickle taken down. Now Queen Rabbit. Daddy Cakes gets the pick on two, just a little shy. And just 2 people on the cart, as well as the Mercy, so 3 people on the cart for Miami Yikes, but they're so far from their spawn that now it's so hard for them to keep pushing. So we'll have that immortality field taken down, but they've got the amplification matrix. Soap will go down. Here comes the barrage from Turtles, gets 2. Turtles will get taken down though, and even though all of these picks seem to be going the way of Miami Yikes, it might not be enough from them. They don't have many people on the cart. Daddy Cakes gotta go down, gonna get taken down by Stonky on the Tracer. And in overtime now, with 1 minute 30 seconds left, Miami Yikes, they're looking good going into this next point, but Ultraviolet could definitely do some great defense.
But here's the thing you got to look out for, K-Wing, is now it is going to be one straight push. It is going to take that full time bank to get it there, which means if they lose one fight, it's going to be an OT fight coming afterwards. So it's going to come up, and Macaron had to switch back off the Reinhardt, so they're now down the Shatter that they were so close to. It's looking good for Nuke, and he gets a fat Shatter.
3 on the ground. He gets the fat Shatter, a fatty shatty, as someone in the Trank community might say, forget who it is, might say. And now the cart is moving for Miami Yikes.
Yeah, and it's one fight territory now. Turtles almost has a Riptire. Daddy Cakes is over on the same, so these switches were good calls from both people.
Daddy Cakes might almost have the Riptire, but nah, when he gets taken down by Stonky, and same for Turtles with Enchanted. 20 seconds on the clock now. Any picks that Ultraviolet get while this is happening could be legendarily massive. Oh no, Doc! Doc goes down from that high noon, and that could be disaster.
That is actually huge because now the res doesn't come back, and that grab will find one, but ooh!
Oh, the Dragons goes over! The Dragons goes past the Graviton. Bubba Wyatt will find one with the Diva Self-Destruct, and Ultraviolet will get on the board. 2-1.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have now secured another map for tonight. That was great. The DPS coming out from Ultraviolet here on Route 66, unbelievable. You know, like I said, they probably would have got the 3rd point if they made the switches, but you know what? That was the difference here, was who was more stubborn. And I think Ultraviolet was a little less stubborn on switching on defense than they were on offense, where Miami Yikes was just stubborn the whole time. And it didn't cost them to get the 3rd point, but it did cost them so much time on that 2nd point. Like I said, I think they should have just went ahead and got off the Winston, got off the Genji if they weren't getting the values they needed from him. It took way too much time. You know, when you're running that dive, that Genji Winston, you've got to think about 2 things. Your Zarya, first of all, has to pick who they're bubbling. And to be honest with you, you want to keep the Winston up longer than you want the Genji. The Winston should be diving in first. They should be getting the Zarya bubble, and then the Genji should be going in. But we saw a lot of times Turtles diving in before Winston, and that's just it. When you're running dive tanks are the players who are going to make the calls because they're the initiatives, because they are the tanks. They can absorb a lot of damage. We saw Turtles get picked off way too many times there, and I think that's where Miami Vikes kind of lost it down Route 66. But awesome job from Ultraviolet. Like I told you, like they told me, they're a team that's a second half team. They're not a first half team, and we are in the second half, and that was the first map, and they were dominating. Even though Stocky was amazing on that Hanzo, it just wasn't enough. Now I want to see how it's going to be here on Nepal coming up, because we already saw what it looked like on Lijiang Tower. But Nepal's a little bit more of a different kind of monster there. You're not going to be running that Symmetra too much, so we're not going to see the Symmetra coming out as much, but I guarantee you we'll see that May. We're probably going to see a Hanzo, because Hanzo does get value on at least 2 of the maps, if not all 3. But Enchanted on that McCree that last round, oof. If I'm Miami Yikes, I'm watching out for that hurricane coming my way.
Absolutely. Miami Yikes have a big storm coming, and its name is Enchanted. And that McCree just did so much work. And now we're coming in to our map. What is this now? Map 5?
Yeah.
Map
Yep.
one,
It's not
two,
five.
three,
Just a five.
four, five. Map 5. That's the map.
Yeah.
And like I said, we have after this, we have our hybrid map and could potentially be match point for Miami Yikes, or it could be Ultraviolet's chance to take the lead. And all that's going to depend on Nepal.
Very much so. And honestly, another thing we don't need to take away from, yes, Enchantment was getting a lot of value, but I'll tell you why they were getting so much value. Daddy Cakes. Just once Daddy switched over to that Tracer, there was so much pressure in the back line. Stonky couldn't focus trying to take down Enchanted. That's where the value came from. It was, Daddy was really doing a good job being that Tracer. Tracer's got one of two jobs. You wait for the fight engagement, and then you go bug the backline, or you start bugging the backline to get that DPS to turn around and look at you. So your main DPS, the Hanzo, the McCree, the Junkrat, whoever it is that does a lot more damage, gets more rain because you get the Zarya to turn, you get them to use their bubbles to try to protect their support, try to protect their other DPS, and there was no McCree to watch out for. There was no stuns coming out from Miami Yikes. And that's another thing, too. If you see a Tracer getting that value like Daddy was, you might want to switch. Yeah, you had the Honestly, but that's a really hard thing to hit, especially here down in Harmony. I would have rather seen a Brigida come out or maybe even a Moira because you got that fade. You got a little more wiggle room to kind of, get out and get in. So that's something, Miami Yikes needs to think about, especially if they do win tonight and go up further, because there's a lot of teams in Harmony that have really talented Tracer players, and they're watching this right now. That's something I'm taking notes, is they didn't make the switch for a stun for that Tracer, and that's something that's big. And coming up, especially on a control map right now, if I'm Daddy Cakes, I'm back on that Tracer, because you can get so much value from just getting that backline like that, especially here on Sanctuary. If that Hanzo's been giving you trouble, I'd go to that Tracer. You either need one dive character or two dive characters for him.
Daddy
And
Cakes is on the Tracer. There you go.
so, Addy, I love you. I'm glad you're listening, right? But, we do see that May. Now, I'm not a fan of May, particularly on Sanctuary, just because there's not enough really good chokes to wall off. Personally speaking, I think it'd be better for Turtles to be on that Junkrat or maybe even the Pharah. But you know what? They know what they're doing. I'm going to let them play their DPS because they were playing pretty good May as well. But I feel like if they don't get the value that they want, they're going to switch up very quickly. And it's probably going to be Tor over Junk if I'm Turtles.
Going to depend on this first fight. Miami Yikes already going to wrap around. They have this rush comp. They know what they want to do. They're rushing right on top of Stock. He's already going to find Curvical on the Brigitte. We've seen a lot of him on the Lucio, and this Brigitte not getting off too much of a good start, as already Miami Yikes will take the point, and that was interesting.
Yeah, I think Daddy just got the blink right over the stun. But good play. Now, one thing I will say though, and they already made the switch, is I wouldn't really run the Brigida, especially here on this particular map. Yes, you have the ability of stun and the ability of, armor packs for your diving characters, but the Lucio is going to get a little bit more value. And honestly, Soap switching over to Ana is definitely going to be better. And they just got off the straight dive tank of Winston Diva, but oof, that wall.
Oh, that wall makes a nuke. Just completely defuses him, and Stonky will find Daddy Cakes as well, just flanking around, trying to catch these members of Ultraviolet as they get back to spawn, and brutal staggers from Miami Yikes, as this is going past 50% now.
Okay, so one thing I was trying to say is Turtleless won't get as much value from the May because of the chokes, depending on where they're at after the first fight, but now that they've got control, it's very easy. You got to split. Ultraviolet's got to do a little split up, a 2-4 maybe. But oof, they keep running in all together.
Oh, just old Shy goes down early, and that could be disastrous. But Turtles has already gotten a pick and a D-Mech. Queen Rabbit will find another, and even though Turtles goes down, it might just not be enough for Ultraviolet. They'll have to retreat, and now last fight territory for them. And they've yet to be able to touch the point.
Yeah, and they gotta watch out for that grab that they know is there. Bubba's got to do what they've been doing an okay job of, and that's eating the grab. But it's very hard, especially when there's those walls to protect it.
That's true. There goes the grab, and it's
Woo!
eaten. Oh, Wyatt just gets the grab. There goes just a little shy. The high noon goes nowhere, and that is the ult advantage from Ultraviolet from Miami Yikes. Gone. Enchanted will get a double kill. Goodbye, tanks. And Kerbisol will take down Turtles on the May. Stonky will get the stagger. Enchanted will get the stagger onto Stonky, pardon me. And Ultraviolet, they take the point.
Yeah, awesome play. And what I say, the one thing they had to worry about, Bubba did their job. They ate the grab. So awesome play from Bubba. Now they're about to have their Diva Bomb. They gotta play on point though because it's a one fight point.
That it is. There goes the wall. Macaroon having some trouble. There goes the Blizzard as well. Bubba White, both those tanks are gone. Frozen, regardless, not really gone. Nuke will be. But there goes Stonky, Enchanted. Just doing so much. Oh, goodbye, Bubba Wyatt. There goes the bomb. A little bit too high in Bubba Wyatt. An unfortunate series of events there. But a brawl on the point will end up with Doc trying to keep it going. Eventually will get taken down in a bit of a stagger by Ultraviolet. Now,
Yeah.
looking bad.
Unfortunate bomb, but now Daddy does have their Blizzard online, and they actually have the better ult economy because they do have Window, they do have Deadeye, so they have that combo as well. And you're not having to worry about anyone eating on the side of Miami Yikes. So, if I'm Ultraviolet, this Blizzard is going to get 10 times the value than the last one did.
Stun! Daddy Cakes got stunned out of the Blizzard. That's so no. No, Daddy Cakes, no. Oh, the shatter from Macaroon finds 6 on the ground. Enchanted is trying to get something. He gets 2. Stonky has the high noon. He'll get 1. It's not as good. Stonky will be taken down by Enchanted. Enchanted is just so amazing. Nobody doesn't like Enchanted.
Queen not able to get there. No, Queen was not able to get to the point. Bubba didn't even have to touch them.
Oh my god.
Wow. What a huge
Huge
turnaround for Ultraviolet right there.
Oh.
I mean, 99 to 100. Folks, you couldn't ask for a better map 5 right now because you know what that means. Ultraviolet wants more maps than 6. They want to go to that 7 map. They might even want to go to that 8 map. So we're not going to get the 9. Stop saying that, please. Our producer keeps saying 9 map, and I'm like, no. Gizmo needs some sleep after this.
Sleep is for the weak. I need good Overwatch. We've been getting it here. As here comes the rollout. Stonky is on the Symmetra. An interesting choice. Going to stay on it. They're going to try and get to point early and set up these Symmetra turrets. But they're going to get there at the same time as Ultraviolet. And the Wallace is going to cut off Nuke and a few of the members of Miami Yikes, Macaroon, and Nuke will just get all of the damage. Nuke going in almost a little bit too much, but Stonky will eventually get taken down after a little bit of fun from Ultraviolet.
Okay, the difference in that fight was the May walls. Turtles threw up their walls so quickly and just a little impatient, was not able to cut anybody off, and then had to waste it. Where Daddy Cake's wall was able to separate the tanks, the Baptiste Immortality was not up for very long and actually wasn't really there to help them. Just like that, now they had to switch off the Symmetra and go to the McCree.
That they did. Queen Rabbit here had 0 energy now at the 40, but Nuke is going to go down really early, but so will Macaroon gets cut off by the May wall thanks to that amplification matrix from Soap. Charged up really quickly. There was a lot of damage coming in on Macaroon, but now Daddy Cake's going to get flashbang, but will stay up thanks to that shift ability, that ice block, and now shoes on the other foot. Miami Yikes, they've got so much damage coming through that amplification matrix, and Nuke is not going to get out, not with the wall there, and with considerable stall, of course. Ultraviolet will get it at 61% before Miami Yikes will take the point.
And that's really good. Now they have Bubba's nuke coming up, which is not very easy to get good value with, especially on this particular map. But you do have Daddy Cake's Blizzard. You do have the Deadeye from Enchanted. All they have to do is just wait. Ooh,
Oh no, Nuke! Nuke gets cut off and just nothing can save you there, and not the Blizzard. Even though Turtles is gonna use the Blizzard, gonna take down Daddy Cakes using just the Blizzard. Look, ma, no hands, just Snowball. And Ultraviolet will have to retreat again.
yeah, that was a fight. I think Daddy Cakes might want the Blizzard back. Honestly, as soon as Nuke went down, I would have just backed out there. But you know what? You made the choice. Now you got to reap what you sow. But now Turtle is wasting the wall once again, just not getting the value they need. It's going to be an easy little turnaround for here for Ultraviolet.
That is true. Bubble Wyatt has the Diva Bomb. Both ults will find something, but Macaroons will just find everything. Multiple people on the ground. He just does. He's so amazing with them. He uses these ultimates. He uses his Shatter, and it's just incredible. Macaroon will get taken down by the Diva, and Queen Rabbit will eventually somehow. Miami Yikes.
Bubba hopping
Hell.
around.
Or Bubba, I mean, keeping the point up, so now it's last fight territory for Miami Yikes.
Yeah, but one thing I really didn't like is once again, Queen just pops this grab on a fight that was already won. Instead of popping the grab, they could have just right-clicked the support dead, probably got Bubba a lot quicker, and then they would have had grab for next fight. Now they're coming in with no ults, and you've got Shatter on the side of Ultraviolet, so that's going to be devastating here. Whoa!
Oh, that it is just hopping like a bunny rabbit, and just doing so much damage. And Turtles Blizzard got eaten by Bubba Wyatt. Bubba Wyatt's just been stepping up. I think he must have heard us saying maybe he should switch off the Diva and said, no, I don't. And no, he doesn't, as the stall will come in from... The stall's gonna come in from Miami Yikes, but it'll just be nothing. That's 85% and ticking. Miami Yikes, they've got to get something together fast. Macaroon has a Shatter, but will he keep it?
You know, once again, I'm gonna have to go to the tanks. Nuke is being so aggressive here lately, but that Shatter was not necessary, and now he doesn't have for this fight. But hey, it's OT. It could change.
He got overtime, but at what cost? Queen Rabbit and Doc are both down, but Macaroon just has a Shatter. He just does not miss with these Shatters. It's overtime. By all accounts, this Shatter should be on one person, 2 people even. But he just gets 3, 4 people, and it's just incredible. But somehow, some way, Ultraviolet, through some dominant plays, will get there, will get a control win, and they'll tie it up.
Oh my. That, like I said, I think both tanks would have wanted it back, but you know what? Nuke told me, nah, I'm fine. I don't need it. Let him Shatter my whole team. They don't have any follow-ups there. And the Diva Bomb once again found one. Bubba, though, I'm going to have to say right now is my MVP because their eats have just been changing the gameplay so much for Ultraviolet. If it wasn't for those 2 eats right there, honestly, I think Miami Yikes would have took both maps. So kudos for Bubba being stubborn on that Diva because they're doing their job right now. Now, one thing I need to point out, folks, is what is one more value you can get out of your Mei with the wall? And that's where Bubba would lose the value of the eat. Wall does prevent the defense matrix from eating anything. So if you put that wall up, you throw Snowball at it, you throw the grab at it, you don't have to worry about it getting eating. And that's something Miami Yikes really needs to start thinking about. If they're going to not be running their Diva and they're going to be running this Zarya, they want to use that grab. Bubba Watt's now eating at least 3 grabs and 2 blizzards. I'm looking at Turtle right now and I'm saying, hey, Turtle, okay? I need you to put up wall so I can grab, okay? You know, Queen did do a good job earlier waiting for the defense matrix to be used and all that, but sometimes you just can't wait. And sometimes you got to use a grab early fight and not late fight so you're not wasting it. And I think that's where Ultraviolet is now starting to not reap what they sow, but actually starting to really crop in a good season right now coming into this wild card match. They are showing exactly what they told me. They have woken up. It's now, oh my goodness, dude. I'm so excited right now. I'm just so lost for words. K-Wing. Oof.
I
This
am
is
too. I'm so excited. Um, it's just been incredible. I mean, we had you know, the giveaways coming out, and we just decided, script writers decided we needed a long series to get you all some channel points, to get you some trank bucks to use in the giveaway entries to get a nice entry into the merch giveaway, and to bet on these wonderful teams. And Ultraviolet now seeming not even like a underdog. Can you even remember when we thought that Ultraviolet were kind of underdogs coming in here? I can, and now doesn't seem like it, as we're gonna go into our next map, which is gonna be Hollywood.
yes, Hollywood. One thing I'd like to see from Miami Yikes on Hollywood is not running that double bubble. That double bubble just wasn't there. The cohesion for it is just not there. And right now, you shouldn't be trying to do that during a wild card match. Even though it's a wild card match, even though it's a playoff round, I wouldn't be trying to work on that kind of stuff. I'd just be sticking to the script. Hashtag blame Bard on that, because we all know how Bard likes to stay up all night long. But you know we do have a chance actually. I want to say it, to go to map 9, because they can draw Hollywood, and with the way things happen on Kings Row, uh,
Possible.
it's very very likely, honestly. But something tells me Violet, like I said, it finally woke up and stepped it up. Miami Yikes now feeling the pressure, because now it's a tie game. It's 2-2.
That
That's,
it is.
that's not something you want going into map 6. And the possibility of a tie game. Oh, I don't know. It's just not something I look forward to.
I feel like everyone's kind of don't really want that, tie game. That means, we're going to at least 2 more maps, if not 3, after this. So that would be 4 more potentially on the roster. I don't know if I can do that mentally, physically. This has just been such a great game of Overwatch. I want it to go 4 maps. My heart wants it to go 4 maps, but I don't know if my body will let it go 4 more maps.
Yeah, see, that's another thing too. You are all in the chat saying, "Yeah, let's go map 8, map 9," but you don't understand. Us casters, we're honestly probably dead by like the end of the 3rd map, especially when we know some of you teams like to really goof off at map 4, and we're just like our brains are gone. But now that we're on a map 6, oh my god, K-Wing, my cheeks are feeling it. I'm starting not to feel my cheeks, and I got a hot date on Thursday. I'm hoping I can recover.
Okay. Very nice. Good for you. Thanks for telling me that, Didn't feel self-conscious enough, needed some of that tonight, but
Oh, come
again,
on.
just
We all know you're a lady.
yeah.
Gotta have that confidence.
Sure.
That confidence
Alright.
right now that Ultraviolet has.
Nice segue coming into this fight, as Nuke is just charging this ultimate so much. I mean, that's the confidence that you're talking about. Nuke just almost going to go low, but Soap has that immortality field to keep him up and keep him charging that shatter, already at 56%, already at 67%. And Turtles is trying to keep a lid onto Daddy Cage, but there comes the shatter from Nuke! Hit the double kill with the charge. He'll go down to the turret. But Stonky, I thought he was going to start to bring that back. I was scared for a second, like, Stonky, you can't do this to me. You can't do this.
Okay, no, seriously, if Stonky was able to pull out a 1v6, I'd be like a Trank player just saying, hey, you want to join our team? We'll boost you up to Diamond so you can fit the bill. Because your Hanzo is totally cracked tonight. But hey, good play by Nuke. I've been a little worried about how aggressive they've been, but it seems to work out. It now seems like Soap understands when to throw that immortality field out for them. Stonky, though, has his dragon available. Can they get value from it this time? Or, are they going to get it gobbled up by the Bubba machine?
Absolutely. Bubba is it's starting to feel like Little Shop of Horrors in here, as Bubba's just going, feed me, Stonky. And Queen Rabbit might also have to oblige almost going to get taken down. Daddy kicks on the Hanzo. There goes the window coming out from Miami Yikes. Gonna drop down and fighting in this little room. Gonna almost tiny overwatch it for a second, but Miami Yikes will take a little bit of point control, but Enchanted will find Macaroon and
Oh!
Stonky!
Stonky, I feel for you on that one. I
He
honestly
tried.
thought the pole
He
was going to
tried.
save you. I thought the pole was going to save you, Stonky. Oh, I feel your pain. But hey, you know what? It's honestly better that Stonky did die there instead of being staggered.
Yeah.
So, Stonky, you know what? Just brush it off. It ended up playing out better because Bubba just found too much value on that. And now Daddy has the dragon, and with this small little room and no diva to eat it, all he's got to worry about is that immortality protecting that team.
That's true. They do get out of the room, but the shatter from Duke just finds corpse on the ground. These Reinhardts have just been shattering for, oh my gosh, they've been making Captain Jack proud with these shatters, and I just can't see. This has just been a clinic on how to do Earth shatters. If you want to learn how to do it, check these two Reinhardts out and just do that. 5 minutes on the clock for Ultraviolet. They are blazing through this point.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. Nuke had great positioning, playing that off angle, like I said before on Lijiang Tower at the very beginning, which Macaroon was doing such a good job with, is when you play an off angle from your team, you got to think that Reinhardt has shatter. I either block the shatter or I block the damage coming in, and he chose to block the damage coming in. And just like what happened to Ultraviolet, Miami Yikes felt the wrath of the German ingenuity.
That they did. The Immortality Field and Nuke both going to go down behind the wall. So trying their best, but it won't be enough. And Enchanted will get caught a little bit late, but a textbook fight from Miami Yikes, putting a stop to that Ultraviolet momentum.
I like that Turles switched off the Torb to this Mei because that Mei is going to add so much more value because you're not playing a poke game, you're playing kind of a rush brawl, and Mei's going to get so much more value out of it than the Torb.
Okay, going into this fight now, Nuke and Macaroon both have the shatter. Here comes Bubba throwing in the bomb. He just doesn't miss. These tanks are insane. I can't with these tanks. They're just too good.
Oh my lord! Oh, the immortality went down so quickly, and Macaroon had no shield to protect. The only thing left, which was Turles' job, was to use the block to try to help save the team. But they were like on the other side.
It's so good. They're just so good. Nuke will throw out the shatter, will find two. Macaroon shatter not gonna find anything. Nuke is there to block it off. Nuke will go down though, and that'll be bad for Ultraviolet. They'll win that fight, but now they just need to win one more against Miami Yikes to keep this going. The wall is gonna come up from Turtles, and Edmund will be safe from the reign of terror of Miami Yikes.
Oh, what a great recovery. Now Turles has the snowball line. Queen has that grab, and you got Stonky's dragon. So it's, once again, going to be up to Bubba to at least negate one of these three ults that's going to be devastating. But Macaroon, oof!
Oh, Macaroon will find Daddy Cakes already, and there's just nothing you can do when Stonky's got the Dragon Strike. He'll find two, and one with the normal bow, and Miami Yikes will continue the reign of terror.
But you know what? If I'm Ultraviolet, I'm okay because they use Window, Grab, and Dragon Strike. They used a combo and an extra ult for no reason. Macaroon could have got so much more value with that window coming out later, even if Bubba Watt has the defense matrix. But, ooh, Enchanted!
Ooh. Enchanted. I am under his spell. He's just doing so well. That's a triple stun from Enchanted's flashbang, and there's a triple stun from the shatter. It's just so incredible. Bubba Wild will throw out a Diva Bomb just to clear out the point. And is anyone even going to be able to stagger it? No. A minute 30 here for the members of Ultraviolet.
And right there is exactly what I'm talking about. When you use the grab, you use window. Dragon Strike is not a necessary ability. yes, the Dragon Strike should be used to the grab, but if you popped out the window, I don't find it necessary. And I think what they could have done instead, now they got trapped in that corner, what we saw. Well, if they had the Dragon Strike, they could at least zoned out and kept themselves a little more protected. But instead, Macaroon got just absolutely decimated. Shield went down. You had a triple stun coming from the Kree, went down, and then the Reinhardt shattered. We have had fat shatties all night long. And I've just been so pleased with these Reinhardt players. Reinhardt is my favorite tank to play, and it's been nice that he's been so meta used. But in this rank, it just proves they've been playing smart. They've been playing those off angles. Everyone thinks Reinhardt has to be protecting his team the whole entire time, but if you take those off angles, he becomes even more of a threat. So I'm Nuke and Macaroon. You guys need to pat yourself on the back tonight because it's just been phenomenal watching you two.
Absolutely, no matter who wins this. And right now, it's not certain in the slightest. These Reinhardts have been popping off for Turtles now back on this Pharah. So it's going to be up to Enchanted, Soap, and Bubba to deal with that Pharah Mercy combo.
And actually, because there's no fall-off damage from the Mei Icicle right-clicks, Daddy Cakes can occasionally do some poke damage, especially since, you got to think about the Zarya bubble usage. If you're putting a little more pressure on this Pharah, Turles won't be able to get as much. So that's another character that they could use to kind of help negate Turles from getting enough damage in.
Absolutely, but if there's one thing we learned about Turles' Pharah, it's that it pops off sometimes, and we're gonna get to see it firsthand here. Shy's Immortality Field will get taken down early. Enchanted going so low. So are both of the tanks. So needs to get some healing going, and Nuke just goes down, but so will Turtles on this Pharah. Probably going to get DMAC. There's both the tanks in dead or very low. Doc goes down on the Mercy. That's not good. Soba's up, if I remember correctly, up there with the McCree. They're just going to stay on the point and wait for them to come to them. And now, a bit of a crossfire between Nuke and so Enchanted. Gonna take down Stonky, but Nuke will go down. Here comes Bubba. Going to have some difficulty here trying to deal with Turtles on this Pharah. We're gonna come back on this respawn and just rain down death and destruction on the members of Ultraviolet, and they will stall, but still 5 minutes on the clock for Miami Yikes.
I actually like the patience of Enchanted and Soap. They gave up the ticks, and it killed a lot of clock. And honestly, I think if they had jumped in there and staggered, it would have been a lot worse for them. Now they died with their team, and they were able to now regroup the team and take this high ground, which is huge. Even though we see Turles get off that far right now, it's going to make a difference just being able to have that high ground control.
Oh, Turtles gets the early kill into Daddy Cakes. Queen Rabbit goes low, but gonna get out of it alive. Keep that charge, which is crucial for Zarya. You want to get out of a fight alive. Bubba's gonna go down, that baby diva. Not safe from Stonky. And Queen Rabbit just on the Zarya has the grab. You have the dragons. That's a deadly combo like we've seen. So it's gonna be up to Miami Yikes to see the geese. Oh, Stonky's just gonna find Enchanted. Maybe they won't even need it. Already, there goes the grab. It's got 3 in it. But Daddy Cakes finds Stonky. Did he even let loose the dragons? Did he get killed mid-dragon launch? Did Daddy Cakes kill Stonky mid-dragon launch?
Yes, he did. Daddy Cakes got Stonky as he was doing the rotation to release the dragons. What a huge play come out. But I think that fight was already lost anyways. But hey, you know what? Kudos for Daddy Cakes taking out the mirror match before the ult came off.
As soon as I think that this game can't give me anything more interesting, it just does. It just delivers everything that I want.
It really does. But Nuke getting caught.
Nuke. There's just a little bit of a place where people can get by. Daddy Cakes just throws in the Dragon Strike, and the bomb also going to come in just to protect Nuke, keep him safe, and there goes the wall again. Nuke will get out, and Enchanted 1 HP in a dream. No, he'll go down. Get a little bit more damage in, but now Ultraviolet, they have to back off. The Blizzard just there, a little bit of a zoning ult. There goes the window. The shatter goes in. No one on the floor for the members of Ultraviolet. Now, but what? This Diva trying to get something going. The wall is gonna come in, block off Nuke. Enchanted is on this flank high noon. Is he gonna get it? He's just gonna right-click Stonky. Goodbye. Going to trade for Stonky. What? On the Diva, gets demech. There goes the grab. It's deja vu, but there's no follow-up. There's not really much follow-up there to be found. Now, Ultraviolet, if nothing else, they're taking a lot of time off the clock. Daddy Cakes will find Macaroon. The beat will come in too late for Macaroon, though. The Rabbit, very close to going down, will go down, and Enchanted and the members of Ultraviolet are gonna keep this point. They're gonna keep the point, and they just have such an amazing place to hold.
Yeah, really great job. That beat drop coming from Kerbical, huge play. But I'm not going to take away from Queen because it did get that out, even though they weren't able to get any follow up except for on Kerbical. It's not a bad trade. But oh, Shatter!
I've run out of ways to say Nuke gets a gigantic Shatter. He does it too much. There's an oversaturation of fat shatters in the market.
Nuke literally has gotten a 25 kill streak here on Hollywood. I'm just going to say that right now. He literally has earned that actual nuke. If those of you who play Call of Duty understand the reference.
Oh.
But yeah, now they got the high ground control once again. Miami Ice has got to take it from them, but they're not.
They do. Macaroon trying to take down Nuke, but there goes Enchanted taking down Shy. No, that's not what you want if you're Miami Yikes. You're just getting taken down by Ultraviolet. Stonky going to be the only one getting out. But Miami Yikes, they're struggling.
Yeah, like I said, they need to take this high ground. Enchanted is getting too much value, even though they keep walling off Nuke. Because Enchanted is up there to put pressure, you're not able to allow Macaroon and Queen just lay down the damage to help finish him off.
Macaroon has the Shatter. It's been massive, but Turtle goes down to the Shatter from Nuke, just finds him anyway. Macaroon, you won't get to use the ultimate. Why even have your Q binded at this point? Oh my gosh, it's disgusting. And now there's no one that's going to be able to stall. I don't know if Macaroon's going to be able to get there in time. He won't. And that's going to be match point for Ultraviolet.
Wow, Ultraviolet really has just woken up. Like there's no point of saying woken up. They're on their third copy because they are just flooring it. We're seeing it in the Nuke's aggressiveness. This Shatter right here, absolutely massive. But like I was saying before, Miami Ice, all they had to do was take the high ground away from Enchanted. That they kept playing to this corner alley, and I don't understand why. Because you were letting Enchantment get so much value. Yes, he did have Bubba come up for the pill, but if your whole team goes up there, you knock him off high ground. Even if you don't take him out, you at least take out the advantage he has because he was just raining down damage above. And like I said, you had Macaroon and Queen both had to use the bubble and the shield just to block that damage, which then allowed the fat Shatter to come in. Perfect play from Enchantment right there. Perfect play coming out from Ultraviolet. They really seem to know their positionings right now. This is not the same team we watched in the first 3 maps.
I know, it's so amazing. It's so amazing. Ultraviolet have been on a 3-map win streak. Look at that. They've just absolutely dominated Miami Yikes these past 3 maps, coming into Route 66, to Nepal, to Hollywood. It's just been dominant performances. And like you said, their foot's on the gas, and I don't see any signs they're letting up. And if you're Miami Yikes, you've got to be quaking in your boots. You still remember the good times. Map 1, Map 3, Map 2, kind of. As you were winning these maps. You were looking good. You were looking dominant even. What happened? And Gizmo, how do they bring it back?
So here's how they bring it back. They need to start talking about what's been going wrong. And what's been going wrong is they have let off the gas for one. They have not been pushy, and they're just not positioning themselves right. That's been the difference right now. Ultraviolet was positioning themselves correctly, and K-Wing, they were able to build, like, they were able to use one ult and then win the fight, and one of their other teammates had their ult. Next fight, that teammate uses their ult. That the teammate who used this, let's take Nuke for example. They pop the shatter, boom, you had enchantment with Deadeye next match. Deadeye comes out, oh, Nuke was at 97 for another shatter. It's been ult charge. That's it. It's not even been how the ult combos have been coming out. But also another thing I want to say, like I said, you got to think about the ult combos. You got to go into these fights thinking about it. You had a grab that wasn't being able to use. You had a shadow that wasn't being able to use. And then you had a grab go out with the dragon, with the window. You don't need to do all those at once. That is 3 ults for one fight, and you're not building them up quick enough to really justify it. And you also have had Queen throw these grabs out after fights have already been won or lost. So maybe it's time for Queen to maybe hop off the Zarya, even though they've been doing such massive damage and all that. But they're not getting the value of the ults. Bubba's been proving us wrong. They've been getting absolute just honestly, I feel like them and Nuke need to switch names right now because they're the ones dropping the nukes on top of Miami Yikes. But we are coming on to our 7th map, which is Junkertown, one of my personal favorites because it is a Widow-bound map. But you know what? We haven't seen Widow come out at all tonight except for as a joke on the first map. Before the match even started, so no one could even see it but me and you and Laggy, who's been doing an absolute phenomenal job here tonight on the production. I'm getting all tongue-tied now. I've been talking too long. But
it makes the vocals just,
like I said, my cheeks are gone. My cheeks are gone. I've been smiling because I've been so happy just watching all these people playing.
I know. It's been incredible. And this could be, think about it, this could be the last map. If Ultraviolet wins this, they go on and Miami Yikes goes home. But if Miami Yikes goes home, we go to a tiebreaker map. We go to our 8th map. But to do that, we need to get through Junkertown.
Yeah, and honestly, Junkertown is not an easy. There are two ways for them to do it. One is they take the map. 2 is they do the very rare and impossible draw. And once again, Tranquility. Not that I want the draw to happen, but it is a $50 donation from yours truly if it does happen on an escort map during a live stream on the Tranquility Twitch. So, hey, who knows? It might, and honestly, I consider that a double win for Miami Yikes. Not only does it secure an extra map to try to, continue to play on, but Tranquility gets an extra $50 in the pocket, which goes back to you guys. So, if it's what you want. But personally speaking, I want to see Miami Yikes come out strong here. We're seeing them come out on this double shield, which has worked very well for them. The Reinhardt Orisa has done very well for Miami Yikes. We saw it done on Lijiang Tower. The one thing I'm questioning right now is turtles on the turret once again. The turret placement has been a little questionable, and they've had big ults, but I just feel like they could get so much more better value playing the Mei, playing the Pharah, playing the Junkrat. The more spammier, not more spammier characters, because Torb is very spammy considering it gives you a 7th man. But I just feel like they've been getting a lot more value coming out of the gate as one of those other 3 characters.
We'll have to see if that prediction holds true. Also, I will point out that the last time you said maybe a character should get off a hero, they immediately started popping off, that of course being Bubba Wyatt. Now, getting into this next map, Ultraviolet, Daddy Cakes, Bubba Wyatt is actually going to get taken down so early. Just a little shy on this Baptiste, doing so much damage. Baptiste, nothing to scoff at the damage output that he can put out. And now Ultraviolet just holding this corner. Wyatt will be able to get the remake and complete full tower. They're gonna actually flank around here. This is really sneaky. And if they get caught, they won't get caught out until they're right on top of them, and that's not good when you have a bunker comp like this. Nuke goes low, but he's just swinging this hammer side to side to side, and he's gonna get the 2-man shatter. And it's just so much damage he gets. He'll get taken down, but not before he just deletes the members of Miami Yikes.
Yeah, that was a great call coming out from Ultraviolet doing that rotation. They definitely were able to catch this bunker comp off. And see, and that's another thing too. What I've been questioning about Turtle's turrets, they haven't been putting it to kind of catch those flanks and stuff. If he had put it, a little further back, not really right where the shield was, they could have probably caught that a lot earlier and had a lot easier second fight here.
Oh, Queen Rabbit just gets taken down immediately. Soap gets hit with the charge. Soap gets hit with the charge, and there's the shatter. There's the macaroon we know and we love to see, getting that big shatter, and now dangerous spot to get held for the members of Ultraviolet.
Yeah, because now it's almost an even distance from both the defensive spawn and the offensive spawn. The one thing they got to look out for is they don't have the ult economy yet. And I say yet because they do have both tank ults coming up very soon, and they do have the dragon and beat drop. So right now, I'm kind of feeling okay for Ultraviolet, but you got to get the values you need from those ults.
That you do, it's a matter of who uses them best. Nuke's Shatter's not going to find anything, but Macaroon will be down thanks to some work from Curvicle. And Yikes as well going to find 2 on this Hanzo. Student has surpassed the master, it seems. As soon as I say that, usually Stonky just decides it's time to pop off, but it might not be enough if he does, as already Miami Yikes, they just need to run away.
Yeah, and right there, like I was saying, they just need to get value out of those ults. Well, Nuke got blocked, that's fine and all, but they didn't use any other ults. Daddy Cakes did his job, was able to get 2 picks and all that. They were able to cause a weird rotation for Miami Yikes. And now it's just staggering as the team's trying to collect. Turtle is getting taken down like that. That's huge, especially with the double shield to help protect him there.
And now Daddy Cakes is just being a bit of a distraction while the rest of the team goes up the stairs ready to just take so much damage into this bunker comp. This bunker comp does not want to be close range. Arisa loves being far away, taking that long range poke damage, not being up close and personal. And here comes Daddy Cakes with the dragons, just gonna throw it away. Here comes Macaroon's Shatter, not gonna find anything, but Nuke will find the picks with the Shatter. And what was that? What was that? That was insane. That bomb went backwards. That bomb went backwards.
Bubba, you did not mean to do that. Don't even try to act like you did. I know you did it. But I think what happened was that little wall up at the top kind of hit that corner and went down, is what I'm guessing happened. So, but hey, you know what? If it worked out, it worked out. So good job from Bubba on this Diva.
It just works, Bubba Wyatt, he just works. He just works on his Diva. Been doing so well, and so much damage is coming through. The members of Ultraviolet they just need to wait this out. Eventually it was because of Shy's amplification matrix, but Miami Yikes, they have to pull back to spawn to find Macaroon on the Reinhardt. They will find him and they'll push back, but crucial space lost. There goes the Bongo, and it's gonna be Bongo versus amplification matrix. There goes the Molten Core from Turtles. Not finding any picks, but doing a lot of damage and really decreasing the space that Ultraviolet has to play with. There goes Stonky, getting that first pick. The beat will come in too late for Enchanted. And already the Shatter from Nuke! He'll go down for it, but he finds 4 on the ground. Queen Rabbit will go down off of it, but it might not be enough for the members of Ultraviolet.
Yeah. So I'm going to say this right now. You were just saying, it was the Ant Matrix versus the Bongo. The Bongo has a little bit of advantage because it's not one-dimensional as far as the fight goes because the beams travel with you. The only difference is it doesn't pump out as much damage, but considering it can follow you along, that makes it easy, and that's why Miami Yikes there was able to push him back, even with Nuke getting a huge shatter. His team was so far back that huge shatter was not able to find any value but one person, and by then it was too late.
That it was. Here comes the engage, and there's the window again from Shy. Just able to do so much damage onto the members of Ultraviolet. They will come down from the high ground. There comes the Fire Strike and find any of those targets that it really wants to find. Really wants to find that Hanzo or the supports, those 200 HP targets that will just die immediately to the amplified Fire Strike. Here comes the high noon. A lot of skulls, but oh, it's an ult fiesta. And we're just here to have fun at the party. Nuke will die to the turret, but there goes Bubba's bomb. It'll take down the turret, but not much else. Turtles will find Daddy Cakes, and now that's not good for Ultraviolet. They have a minute and change left. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting some deja vu to our last escort map.
Yes, true that, but our last escort map did look good in favor of Ultraviolet as far as the end goes, but this is where they need to make that switch up. You know, Enchantment can't get that value off. They're running the double shield. It wouldn't be a bad idea to switch over to that junk.
It might not. Nuke is going to go down early, a little bit too aggressive, but there goes Stonky. Enchanted will find that early pick. Bubba Wyatt will actually accidentally fire some of the Bubba actually finds the pick on Macaroon in Baby Diva form, accidentally firing some micro missiles into the payload in front of them. But Stonky, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. He's just too good.
Yeah, and I think, you know, also we didn't see Stonky go over to that Hanzo beforehand, so I think that could have changed some stuff up too for them on Hollywood. But you know what? Right now, like I said, Enchantment's got that Deadeye coming up, but once again, sometimes you gotta throw away the ult because Junkrat's just gonna get more value.
Or sometimes you just get a 5k shatter from Nuke. Nuke just does so much work on this Reinhardt. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I can't.
Right now, this Reinhardt literally has the team on his back carrying them through these fights. Now, Enchantment, like I said, could have thrown away it, but now didn't. They will have it for this final fight, which actually is very huge coming down this big alleyway.
That is, there comes the Dragon Strike, and the Immortality Field is already out. But Macaroon with the double Fire Strike. Oh my gosh, these Reinhardts, they're gonna make him go horse. No!
Oh, the Shatter C9'd them? Oh, what a huge Shatter.
Big letter number coming out from Macaroon. He caused it. He didn't do it.
What good play. I'm gonna say this right now. I think Turles Torb was okay. I still think they could have played something different on the first 2 points, but down to that last point, the Torb was definitely where it was at. His Molten Cores were definitely staggering the team. It was forcing out the Immortality to come out, and right then and there, you had Nuke just standing inside the Immortality thinking, oh, I'm safe, but not, I think, paying attention to the health bar, realizing that they're standing in the Molten Lava. By the time they came out, they had to, you know, kite right a little bit to avoid damage to keep that shield up, which allowed such a big shatter coming out from Macaroon.
I swear, these Reinhardts, they're going to make me go hoarse. I'm going to lose my voice tomorrow. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. With these Reinhardts, they're just playing out of their minds. They're playing out of their minds today in Turtles on Bastion. And I don't think emotionally that I can handle a Bastion pirate ship after the seventh map.
Yeah, seventh
I
map.
don't think I can handle it. I don't think I can handle this. Please, Turtles, please.
The only change that I would do here is maybe switch Stonky over to the Pharah for Pharmacy. But you know what? That Hanzo has been deadly. So at the same time, they'll be fine.
Here we go. Turtles is gonna get on the cart. A little bit of difficulty there, but here we go. Let's hear that gun. You can't. I go and say, you can't do that. I can't handle it emotionally. And Turtle says, haha, Bastion, go brr. And it do indeed go brr. And Soap will find that out firsthand. Turtles will go down eventually. But oh my gosh, Stonky. Stonky's just amazing. What more can I say about Stonky?
Yeah, this is where I'm really thinking about adding a little more splash damage. Enchantment has 60% coming up here in this next fight on the Deadeye, but you got 2 shields on the Immortality to go through. Like I said, you really need to start thinking, do I pull out the Junkrat? Now, there's a lot of open space, so I would stay on the McCree here, but once they get this first objective point, I would think about switching over to maybe a Junkrat or Pharah or something with a little more splash damage to kind of help break through these shields.
Carlos gets immediately taken down, but there goes both supports. But the shatter from Nuke, he had no supports, he had no backup, but he still decides he's gonna use it, and use it. He does, and he uses it well. What a shatter!
Yeah. Like I said, Enchantment was fine to stay on the McCree there because Nuke is aggressive and can get right in that Basher's face, and that is what happened. Plus, you got Bubble out on the Diva. You can negate a lot of the damage. Now you force Turtles to get off that Bastion, switch over to the Genji, which he has no tank to dive with, and no Nano, so he better hope Doc's willing to fly in with him.
You better hope it. Oh, there's the dragon. It's gonna get both the tanks from Daddy Cakes. It'll just shut down this push before it even begins, and now it's hunting season for Enchanted. Stope will get the first kill, and that might actually be all for this hunting season, but a good stagger nonetheless.
The only concern I have is they did pop both Window and Dragon when those tanks were in that corridor. Dragon was the only thing necessary. Now they have to go in with a Deadeye and no Window to combo with, so Enchant is going to have to really play this smart and safe, or just use it as a zoning ult. And to be honest with you, that's probably the best value he's going to get out of it.
Yeah, 3 ults on the side of Miami Yikes, and they're powerful ults. You got the Bongo, you got the Chatter, and you got the Stonky Dragon, so you can hear it comes. It'll find both the supports. Stonky's just doing mad lad things. And that'll be pretty much everyone on the side of Ultraviolet going down.
Yeah, right then and there, you had them like kind of separated, and that was a good flank coming off from Stonky. Honestly, I thought he was going to get Enchanted there, but Enchanted was able to roll on out, but getting Soap and Curvicle, oh, critical play. These Hanzos right now are just getting so much value out of their dragons, and look at this, folks. There's no Zarya on the field to combo with. Maybe if Stonky would just use the dragon for these kind of zoning ults. Not saying the map would change, but hey, they would look a lot sweeter.
Maybe we'd be singing a different tune, but we're always singing the tune. These Reinhardts! These Reinhardts are so amazing. They're so incredible. I can't say anything more about these Reinhardts. There's only so many ways you can say these Reinhardts are amazing and they're cracked into their minds before you just keep repeating it.
Cracked, but you know what? That was such a fat shatter, but they lost the fight. Nuke, you can't do that. You can't just go guns a-blazing just because you see a fat opportunity. You got to make sure your team is ready to follow up, and that's just been one little bit that has been the problem the whole night.
Here comes the blade. Jason just shuts it down. He's gonna use the high noon to find Doc as well. Why not? He'll just find 2 picks. It's so incredible what he's doing, Daddy Cakes. He'll find 2 as well. Never to be outdone, Daddy Cakes. It just feels like these 2 DPS, it feels like every single person is in a constant fight with their alternate, whether it be on the other team or on their team to do better. And they're just all pushing each other to be better. It's amazing.
Like, there's been no legit mirror match diff because both sides have had their flaws and both sides have had their strengths and been playing out of their mind. They're definitely in tournament mode, folks. You cannot ask for a team to come into a wildcard game like this and expect, like most teams, when they come in the wildcard game, if they were the higher seed, they feel like, yeah, we just got kind of gypped because there's just too many teams here. We would have had it if, you know, it wasn't so many teams, but now we got to prove it.
They do, and there's the 3 shatter from Nuke, but there's just no one to follow it up, and there's already 3 kills coming out from Miami Yikes, and oh my gosh, it's just so incredible. It's amazing to watch, and it's amazing to cast. These 2 teams have just been so incredible.
Oh my. No doubt about that, K-Wing. It has been just, you know, it's been a real treat to watch these 2 teams go at it tonight because, like I said, wildcard matches, these are like what are considered the bottom of the teams just because of the map differentials they had during the season. But right now, they look like they could be finalists the way they're playing. If they were able to play like this against even some of the other better teams, they would give them run for money.
Absolutely, Curvicle going to use this beat to try and get something going. Nuke is actually going to find Macaroon. That shatter is free if he can charge it up, but he won't even need it because Ultraviolet got a hold and 2 minutes on the clock for the members of Miami Yikes.
if I am Ultraviolet right now, I'm banking on getting into about a minute and 20 seconds, if not less, once they get it for Miami Yikes to get it to that corner, because then it'll become a one fight territory for that very last spot. And they were right there on the door. So it's pretty much a 3rd point grab for for Ultra or Miami Yikes to win it.
Is
Woo!
oh my gosh, Nuke is just so good. He's so good. It's too good.
Now, you do have Bongo coming out from the side, and you do have Blade coming up soon. That actually can be a very deadly combo, considering Kerbicle does not have the beat drop. It's going to be down to Soap to place a perfectly timed immortality to keep the fight going.
Absolutely, there goes the Dragon Strike from Stonky. Not going to find any picks with it, but still, that zoning ult, it'll push back members of Ultraviolet back to this corner. They're gonna come through bottom of a Wyatt. Has this Diva Bomb, used it so many times, and there's the Dragon Strike from Daddy Cakes. Macaroon's Shatter's gonna find nothing. Turtles with the blade! Turtles has got 2, and he's not done. He's still ready to find Daddy Cakes, but Queen Rabbit will finish him off before he can even get there.
But it's actually looking very good for Ultraviolet because they did exactly what I said they needed to do, was get underneath that 1 minute 20 marker. It is last fight. And now Miami Ice has absolutely no ults coming into this fight. You're going to have a Shatter coming up and the Deadeye.
That you do. Macaroon's going to go down early. That's not good. Enchanted has the Deadeye. Gonna find Queen Rabbit. That's both the tanks for Miami. Yikes. Stonky, he finds 2. He can't be allowed to do this.
Oh!
Stonky, no, his dragon, he got eaten, but he doesn't care. He seems to say, I don't care. I do not need ults. The ults need me. And Stonky's just gonna keep this going. How is he doing this? He can't be allowed to do this. Ultraviolet, no. You had done so well. Ultraviolet, no. He can't be allowed to do this. He can't be allowed to do this. He cannot. I don't allow it. I cannot recognize it. I do not. I have lost the words to describe Stonky's performance. It is not carrying. It is not amazing. This is the stuff of legends here. Stonky has just taken this team on his back and given them a complete crazy ride, and he's built up the dragons again. Why not? He'll get Kerbico with him, and we're going to map 8.
Oh my god. Okay, I don't care who wins this match. I'm saying it right now. Stonky is MVP of this match. Because, like, granted, he did have the Lucio and the payload healing him. There was no reason for him to survive that long with who was left from the side of Ultraviolet. He got a legit 6K plus. He literally just saved this for their team. Like, I'm serious, folks. Now, if you, like I said, you're the team that's going to be playing Ultraviolet or Miami Yikes, you know who you have to look out for. And if I'm playing Miami Yikes next, Stonky has got to be shut down because, ladies and gentlemen, he literally just went God mode. I think we just watched Moxie play for the first time. So someone please give me the context for them, because if his mic is scuffed like Moxie, might be Moxie's little brother there, because, oh my God, that Hanzo is cracked.
Yeah, this entire game has been so crazy. We are officially out of map slots. We changed the broadcast package. It is, it's 7 map slots because, first to 4 means best of 7, right? Wrong. Miami Yikes and Ultraviolet have got something to say about that, and it's just a simple no.
Oh, K-Wing, they're really trying to wear us out tonight, but that's all right. Because you know what? Because we're on this map 8 now, we got to pick a type of map that legitimately cannot have any ties. And guess what? There's only one left in the pool of that kind of map, and that is Ilios, my friends, which means it might be time to lose a little bit of our Overwatch brains if we get to well. But the way these teams are playing tonight, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're just going to play Overwatch. And hey, you know what? Nothing wrong with that. So we're going to definitely see the Reinhardts come out here. If they get onto that well, we're probably going to see double shield Orisa Rein, because it just looks like Miami Yikes has really enjoyed that here. you know, Queen got off that Zarya, and look what happened. They were able to get better ult usage because graviton, like Bongo is one of those ones where even if you throw it out late in a match or late in a fight, I should say, you can still get value out of it just because of the time it lasts. Because if there's staggers coming in, you can kill them quick and so forth, so forth, and you can create more space. Where Grav, it pops, it's there for about 4 or 5 seconds, and then once it's gone, it is done, and it takes not as much time to pull up as the Bongo, but Bongo can be quicker, technically speaking, if the Orisa is landing headshots. And right now, Queen Bee's being a little bit of a terrorizing. So between them and Stonky, I'm going to say this right now. Ultraviolet, the ball has been thrown back into your court. How are you going to respond to that brutal beatdown that Stonky just gave you? And Daddy Cakes looks like he wants the mirror match, but Stonky's not giving it to him just quite yet. So we'll see if Daddy Cakes can force him to switch over to that Hanzo once again.
We will see indeed as we start off on our first round of this, the final. It's the final one. This is not going, there's not going to be a draw here. Final map. A Lighthouse.
Yeah. Oh, and Lighthouse is such a beautiful map coming into it. You're definitely going to see the Lucio coming out. But Stonky, on this Symmetra, it's going to be interesting to go up against the kind of poke damage of McCree and Hanzo.
Absolutely, a teleport straight to point, and Nuke just lands a gigantic fire streak. He's already at 50% to shatter. And you really do want to see these Lucios coming out, because you talked about the beautiful scenery of Ilios, and if you wanna admire it a bit more closely, just step near the edge, and a Lucio will be right by to help show you how beautiful the scenery can be when you're falling pretty fast. And Ultraviolet here, they will lose this first fight, and Miami Yikes going to get that first control point kind of off of that Symmetra.
Yeah, but it's all right because Ultraviolet does have pretty much all their ults coming up minus the Diva. Lucio's will be gained halfway through this next fight, but you gotta first get the point, take the turrets out, because that's gonna be damage. And one thing I want to say right now is this Mei is gonna be huge. Nuke got to make sure his team is following it in with him.
Nuke is using oh my goodness! They used the dragons to kind of mask their approach. Then they were able to, no way, Stonky, you can't do this. You can't do this to me again. You can't do this to my heart again, Stonky. You can't. He keeps it going.
My God, if you do not take care of Stonky, Ultraviolet, it's going to be an easy 0 to 100 on this first map. Now, Symmetra's not going to get too much value at all on and on Ruins, but he's got the Hanzo in his back pocket, and we all seen what it does.
Yeah. If you don't take care of Stonky will take care of you, and Nuke's just gonna cleave through the members of Miami Yikes, even though that was not their grab. Who's treating it like it was, but still the picks going in the way of Miami Yikes, and they have this point control. No one's going to be able to touch. 5 seconds left. The Diva is going to come in. Bubba will be able to tick overtime, but it'll be a short time before. Oh, the beat comes in and it'll just miss anyone from coming on the point. Enchanted gets Queen Rabbit on this point. Here comes the dragons. The shatter from Nuke will find both the supports. Doc will go down, and just shy will find 2 picks. That was incredible. And round 1 going solidly to Miami Yikes. And now this is match point, map point. This could be game, set, match for Miami Yikes. They need to win well.
They do indeed. But here's the thing. There's not a little comfort to hold. Stonky is staying on. Okay, I was about to say. Switches over to this McCree, and they have Truthless or Turtless on this Pharah again, which was devastating on one map. But then after that, just didn't get too much value. Got a little value on Hollywood, but it was more Stonky just popping off. So right now, Enchanted and Soap, Bubba, they got to put the pressure on the Turtles because Well is such a valuable map because there's so much coverage for this far to hide behind, not taking the damage and being able to dish out the poke. Plus, you got the concussion rocket for Boops.
Do Turtles actually going on this flank, gonna come down behind all the members of the Ultraviolet. The Immortality Field will go down, but Daddy Cakes has already found Macaroon, and Nuke will find Queen Rabbit, and Daddy Cakes just finds two to end off the fight before Turtles can even get anything going.
That was a great play from Ultraviolet. They just took the 4v6, the 6v4 instead of the 2v6 that was in their backline because if you can't handle the far, just take her out of the equation. Just push past her, go to where her damage can't really do too much, and take on the 4 because you only have that Baptiste. Once Baptiste is down or the Immortality comes out, it's an easy pick. But they're almost about to give up the point right here. They do.
They do give up the point, and now Fire Strike from Nuke. Now they have to retake. Both these teams are so scared of this well. The feature of Helios well, Turtles has the barrage. You can see who's gonna pop in to use it on. Goodbye, Daddy Cakes. And Turtles sends his regards. The point gonna stay in Miami Yikes' hands.
Yeah, rotating to that right side for Ultraviolet was a good idea in the first place, but then they should have either spread out a little more or go over to the left side because then it's less room for the far to. Yes, you give like a little smaller tunnel for the splash damage to come into, but you can kind of negate it. And giving up the point like they did was just a little bit of a mistake, but I understand they were afraid of the far damage coming in.
Absolutely, and just coming into this next fight, there comes the window from Shy, and oh no, Macaroon will find the Lucio with that amplified fire strike, like we talked about. It takes down any 200 HP hero. Nuke just going to wave hello and wave goodbye, a little bit of an aloha there, and Ultraviolet, they're in a corner, but that's when animals are the most dangerous.
Yeah, they really got to find a way to deal with this double shield. Enchantment's not getting the picks, and I don't think a Junkrat's the call because of a pharmacy coming out. But maybe, just maybe, running maybe a Torb or even running their own Far or Echo, trying to deal with this might help a little bit with the double shield coming out.
Shatter gets blocked, and Macaroon still has a bit enchanted. Finds Turtles with that Deadeye, but Stonky's just too good. He's just too good. The Diva Bomb gonna find just the Immortality Field. Enchanted will find Turtles, but there's not much left. Now, it's just staggers and stalls that are left for Ultraviolet. They need a miracle, and we've seen miracles happen, but I don't know if even Ultraviolet can pull this off. We'll have to see. There goes the window, almost getting booped off by Wyatt. Pancakes gets stunned, and there's so much damage amplification. There's the window, there's the bongo. There's just so much. Turtles also has this ultimate, ready to use it to keep anyone off the point. And no, and it's just like that. It'll end. Ultraviolet. They got running, but eventually they had to burn out. And Miami Yikes, I'll keep coasting. They found their beach.
Yeah, they had what seemed like a Cinderella dream coming in here. Just down in the first two, or in the first three maps by only two, were able to win 3 in a row. But then the 7th map came up and they just let one player take it away from them. And then he took it away from them again on the 8th map. Folks, this was the best of 4 and we went to 8 maps. Ultraviolet put up an amazing fight tonight, but they just didn't put enough stonks into their pile. Their teammate was just shy of one incredible DPS player, and that is going to be who my player of the match is. Stonky, you've got my vote because your tracking on the Hanzo is playable, and you weren't just showing you were a Hanzo one trick. You played awesome on the Mei, you played awesome on the Kree. Now, obviously, your Hanzo was definitely the fan favorite tonight. There's just no doubt about it. K-Wing, who do you have?
For my player of the match, I'm going to go with what might be a little bit of a controversial pick. I'm going to go with everyone. I think everyone here is player of the match, and honestly, if we're thinking about it, I think even in production, we are players of the match. The fact that we went 8 maps, how long? It is currently
11 o'clock.
11:18 p.m.
We started around like
Um,
8:30.
yeah,
Ooh, that's
it's
pretty wild.
yeah, that is a 2.5, 2 hours, 45 minutes long stream. That's tough. And thank you to you, the viewers. We're at 130 viewers right now, which is really awesome.
Jeez, you
Um,
guys are awesome, awesome.
so,
But you know what?
of course,
You know,
yeah.
you know what, K Wing though? Tranquility
We're not
doesn't
done.
just doesn't stop right here tonight. There's
We're not
actually
done.
we're not done tonight. You know why? Not only do we have
Why?
the rest of the wild cards for the rest of the week, and if you want, you can go to our Discord and check out who those are.
Oh,
And Laggy
are we
San,
done
please
for the
pull.
night though?
No, we're not done because we got
Whoa.
the big drop. That's
Oh my
right. Our
gosh.
podcast where we get to interview awesome teams. And this weekend, me and Lady Jack got to interview our kiddos. That's right. The Cats organization's own JPC, the Jetpack Cats. So please, by all means, Captain Jack is actually going to be starting it pretty soon, as soon as this stream's over. So go over to our, YouTube, same thing, youtube.com/OW Tranquility. Go watch it. They're awesome. They're a fun team. I will say this right now. They have one DPS player named Joker. Whoo, he sounded like he was out for blood last night against some teams that we kind of mentioned to him. I'm telling you, like if you haven't watched the beat drop all season, you got at least hear his responses because woo. I mean, I was cracking up the whole time. I mean, it was just straight cutthroat. But that's going to be it for us tonight. Like I said, tomorrow we do have our Transcendence tier wildcard match, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, that is what we got. We have Arctic Foxes versus Team Rocket. Same start time, of course, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then, of course, on Thursday, we got some great casters for Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we have Frost versus the Blizzard Bears. We got the coolest fight around, and I'm pretty excited to see both of those matches. Got some great casters, got some great talent, got some great producers, got some great teams lined up, and uh, I'm excited to see it. And until next time, this has been one of the longest games I've ever casted, 4-3. Miami Yikes just squeaking it out over Ultraviolet in an 8-map series. Thank you so much to everyone for watching. I have been K-Wing. I've been here with Gizmo Charmander with, of course, the one and only Laggy Sun on the production. Thank you so much for watching this wild card, emphasis on wild, Harmony tier match. And keep watching. Go watch the beat drop. Keep watching. Follow, hit the bell, subscribe if you can. We will see you next time. I'm tired.
And hashtag blame Bard. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.